Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. Fair use, fair use. Fair use, fair use. Not Deja Sade. No. No, not you. She has a very calming voice. I sped up the clip. We all listened to it. It's only 12 minutes long. Mr. Z sped it up, so it's like a little bit less than 10 minutes long. Not you, Deja. Ah, god damn it. Now you done stepped in it. Huh? Was she necessarily antagonistic? In her own way, yes, but overall, for what we're used to, no. But the bar is in hell, so there's that. Right? The bar is in hell. Right? But once again, fair use, fair use. Fair use, fair use. Right? Not you, Deja, not you on Real Men Don't Podcast. Ah. Well, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Let's get underway. Let's get underway. Shout out to y'all for being here. Mr. Z did not have plans on streaming twice today, but here we are. Yes, we need to respond. Yes, it's that serious. I told y'all they have waged war on us, and they have declared war on us, and they're still gonna fail because they're still ignoring the black female effery and the misbehavior. But okay, fine. Right? But okay, fine. All right, Deja, here we go.
Penny for your thoughts, friends. Real Men Don't Podcast, but maybe they should. I'd like to start off this week's Penny for your thoughts by saying that I am sorry for the clickbaity title. Y'all deserve better than that. And to be honest, I felt a little slime when I wrote it, but I decided to just let it ride as a sacrifice to the dialogue gods. For what it's worth, I think the concept of a real man is so incredibly vague and intellectually lazy, but for the purpose of the conversation, we're just going to go with it. But please know that this channel will never become an elementary school toxic gender war space. This week, I'd like a penny for your thoughts on what's happening in the cultural landscape that seems to be saturated with insecure, hyper-individualistic performances of masculinity, so much so that there are a huge amount of people currently raising the alarm about Penny for your thoughts, friends. Real Men Don't Podcast, but maybe they should. I'd like to start off this week's Penny for your thoughts by saying that I am sorry for the clickbaity title. Y'all deserve better than that. And to be honest, I felt a little slime when I wrote it, but I decided to just let it ride as a sacrifice to the dialogue gods. For what it's worth, I think the concept of a real man is so incredibly vague and intellectually lazy, but for the purpose of the conversation, we're just going to go with it. But please know that this channel will never become an elementary school toxic gender war space. This week, I'd like a penny for your thoughts on what's happening in the cultural landscape that seems to be saturated with insecure, hyper-individualistic performances of masculinity, so much
Hyper individualistic performances of masculinity. Hyper individualistic performance of masculinity. Did or did not Z tell y'all this was coming? Now we're too individualistic, madam. Deja. Mr. Z is in his late 30s. My entire life, we have Xers in their mid to late 40s, early 50s, their entire life. We've been told, it has been suggested to us, insinuated to us, and we have just been overtly told that black women like you, from when we were little girls to when we were adult women, from when the boys were little boys to now they're adult men, women like you owe men like me nothing. You don't owe us slowing down for us. You don't owe us advocating for us. You don't owe us community. You don't owe us a smile. You don't owe us kindness. You don't owe us being cordial. You don't owe us not throwing us under the bus in front of other black women. You don't owe us not throwing us under the bus in front of non-black people. Miss Deja, black women like you owe black men nothing. Owe black boys nothing. Black men understand this, unfortunately. And yet, when the black men appreciate this more and more, and that's what's happening now, now it's hyper individualistic concepts of masculinity type talk. Oh, huh? And my question to you, madam, Miss Deja, is where were women like you when women like this were talking?
If you are broke and I choose to deal with you, I will belittle you. It is what it is.
Huh? If you are broke and I choose to deal with you, I will belittle you. Where were you, Deja, with women like this? This clip is like 4 or 5 years old, Deja. Where were you? This clip is about, what, 2, 3 years old. Where were you for
I
this?
miss when men used to protect, provide, and shut up.
I miss when men used to protect, provide, and shut up. Where were you for that? You want to talk about individualistic? Where was the community for that? Where was the community obligation for that, Ms. Deja? Where was the community for this? Oh no, Z, yo, I gotta play it for her on this one.
As a man, if you don't have house core job, don't look for a woman with house core job. And for the men that complain about women that do that, look for a man that has all three, and they don't have all three. We can do that. We are women. You want us. You need us. Y'all want one thing from us. And mad because we boss y'all around because you're a fucking servant. You're a provider, right? You're a protector, right? You're a security guard and you're a goddamn assistant. Know your place. Stop being contradicting and bow down. Because I'm sick of it.
You're a security guard and you're an assistant. Know your place. Stop being contradicting and bow down. That is a black woman to black men. Deja, where were you for that? Where was Dr. Tyne for that? Where was Dr. Sabrina Strings for that? Huh? Where's Dr. Chris Marsh for that? What happened? Oh, now the black men are individualistic and they don't want to participate in community. Where were you to critique that? Huh? She said, and bow down, Deja. That's what she said. Huh? Deja, where are you for women that sound like this?
I'm not submitting to no man that expect me to go 50-50. You want your wife to bear your children, cook, clean, work enough hours to handle big bills, and take care of you? You expecting me to pay big bills, baby? I'm gonna want some bussy when I get off of work. Fuck is you talking about? Bend that ass over. Let that bussy breathe. This what you wanted, right? 50-50, right? And I do mean assume the position when I get off of work. As soon as I get off of work, that ass better be tooted up. As soon as he get up off me, I'm gonna look at him like, my turn. My turn.
Deja, where are you for women that sound like that? You want to talk about individualistic? According to your side of the political spectrum, the women, black women, just want justice. They want liberation for all black people. Their politics is of a politics of being liberatory. They want equality. They want equity. Huh? And when we speak to black women about that, all women, but black women about that, they sound like this young lady. Huh? Were you to speak to her about her individualistic ideals and how this is gonna mess up the black community. Where are you for women like that? Oh, don't worry, Deja, she ain't
I'm
stopped.
making this as a PSA to any man that ever thought he had a chance with me or any man that wants a chance with me. If you like 50-50, stay where you're at, baby, because this mouth is only going to get more egregious. I promise you that. I'm paying these big bills and you think I'm not about to be talking to you out the side of my mouth? Watch this. Watch this.
Oh, Deja, where are women like you? Deja, you speak real calm. You speak like this. You have a sultry voice. It's soothing. You're deliberate and intentional with your words. Where are women like you when women like this come about? Where are you? Y'all want to talk about community? Where are you with women like this?
What top tier? Your dick is not equal to my fucking pussy. Point blank,
His
period.
dick ain't equal to your fucking bills neither.
God damn.
Look, at the end of the day, I ain't
Them
fucking
bills
no
got
broke
your
ass
them
nigga.
bills got your name on it. They don't have his dick name on it.
At the end of the day, I ain't fucking no broke ass nigga. Do what you want with your pussy.
Yeah,
but
you
this
don't have to
pussy
fuck
got a
no
price
broke ass
tag on
nigga.
it. Straight
You
up.
look, no, no, You can fuck a nigga that ain't broke. That's not a problem. But just because he ain't paying your bills, don't mean he fucking broke. That mean it ain't his goddamn responsibility. Your bills got your name on it. It don't have his
But
dick name on it.
okay, you're right. I land my plane.
Deja, you got this hood ass sister with the dreads. She's the one checking the other young lady. Where are all the women like you? Where's Julesy? Where's Kim Foster? Where's Teen War? Where's Nappy Headed Hoba? Where's you? Huh? Where's Khadijah? Fine, we'll throw her in there too. Where's Cat Black? Where are y'all? Huh? Where are you? You talk about individualistic. Oh, do you know how many more of these we got? I'm gonna pause right there for now. We'll continue. I'm gonna start from the beginning again. Here we
Know
go.
that there are a huge amount. Penny for your thoughts, friends. Real men don't podcast, but maybe they should. I'd like to start off this week's Penny for your thoughts by saying that I am sorry for the clickbaity title. Y'all deserve better than that. And to be honest, I felt a little slime when I wrote it, but I decided to just let it ride as a sacrifice to the dialogue gods. For what it's worth, I think the concept of a real man is so incredibly vague and intellectually lazy, but for the purpose of the conversation, we're just going to go with it. But please know that this channel will never become an elementary school toxic gender war space. This week, I'd like a penny for your thoughts on what's happening in the cultural landscape that seems to be saturated with insecure, hyper-individualistic performances of masculinity, so much
Insecure. I'm gonna let that one go. Oh, you talk about insecure. Z, you said you was gonna let that one go. No, I lied. You want to talk about insecure,
But
ma'am?
my thing is, like, I don't understand the obsession with trying to make black women settle so much. Y'all don't do this with any other community. Like, seriously. Y'all don't do this with any other community. Do y'all tell white women that they should settle? Because last time I checked, anytime a white girl marries a black man, it's always when he's at his best and when he's rich as hell. You think Kim Kardashian was gonna marry Kanye while he was broke and didn't have any money? You think Kanye would have had a chance with Kim then? Or you think Kanye had a chance with Kim when he was a multi-million-dollar rapper? Let's be real. Like, y'all don't say this to any other group but us. We're tired of settling. We're tired.
Insecure performances of masculinity, right?
Men in Germany are treated way differently than black women in Germany. Black men are appreciated in Germany. Black men are put in a cultural sense, in a societal sense, you are seen as interesting, whereas black women are seen as lesser.
An experience.
A novelty in which you can approach voyeuristically, and it's dehumanizing. I was a member at Soho House, and I remember seeing a black man sitting there, and there was all these white women around him glorifying him, gawking at the fact that he was existing. And I think black men need to acknowledge that their lived experience in Germany is disproportional to that of a black woman in Germany.
Insecure, right? Hmm. Insecure performances of masculinity. Deja, y'all can't help it. I'm gonna give up the ghost tonight, y'all. I'm gonna tell them the truth. I'm gonna tell them the truth. You want to know why this is so goddamn easy? Because y'all keep speaking to the young men in a vacuum. Women like you, Deja, and men like FD, and men like Deontay keep speaking to the men as if the women don't exist. As if the men exist in a vacuum. I didn't say boys. Because I caught what you said a little bit later with some insecurity about high school or whatever trauma or childhood trauma. Nope, 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 nope. Every clip Mr. Z played so far has been a grown ass, adult ass women. And don't worry, it gets worse. Huh? It's easy over here, Deja, because we actually acknowledge that women exist. Black women exist. And black women, on occasion, more than on occasion, behave badly concerning black men. Huh? Speak dismissively, condescending, smug, sassy, rude, mean, huh? And they overtly tell you that they can't pull that with non-black men.
If you want to date outside of your race, you need to be disciplined. When they say we're going to the gym at 5:30 in the morning, you better be up at 5 o'clock getting ready. They are not going to deal with the lack of discipline. And what we make black men put up with, they are not going to go for that. And what we make black men put up with, they are not going to go for that. What we make black men put up with, they are not going to go for that.
Deja, it's too easy. We acknowledge that the women exist over here, Deja. And we don't minimize how they're speaking, particularly about black men and black boys. You lucky Mr. Z didn't have the space to play the teacher, black female teacher, speaking about black boys like they're a nuisance. Uh-oh. Huh? We don't minimize the men's experience. We don't tell them to just get over it. Because you have obligation to those mean, snarky, rude, entitled brats over there in grown women's bodies, those little 7-year-olds and 12-year-olds in grown black women's bodies. We don't tell them they're obligated to the same women that just gave them the ass to kiss. You know, kind of like what y'all do over there. Huh? Deja, it's too easy. You think FD and Deontay and them are going to break this? We'll see. Continuing.
So that there are a huge amount of people currently raising the alarm about how men are moving to conservatism and putting misogyny back on the menu. We're at a time where we are seeing content pushed into our faces that is increasingly anti-women.
You can make the case that like grape is bad for certain people. No. For certain people.
No, it's bad for everyone.
No, it's only bad for certain people. Here, like there's women, you agree, who have orgasmed during SA.
That has nothing to do with SA.
Bro.
That is.
And my take is,
nice try trying to catch us up with Andrew Wilson. Okay, you want to do white folks? All right.
I do believe genuinely that there needs to be a public works department that is dedicated to being mean to men. Like Parks and Rec, like sewage, like being mean to men. Or we could laterally integrate, whatever that means. I don't know what that means. We could laterally integrate being mean to men into these departments. Like pick up the trash, degrade a man, you know what I mean? Clean up a park. Insult a man. We've said it time and time again. Women in a relationship with a shitty man, we turn him into a good man for the next woman, right? What if we all just collectively, because what's happening in those relationships is we're bullying them. That's what's happening. What if we all just did that? I do think that is
She's
what
admitting
keeps
to
the world
bullying men.
safe. The world's not even safe, honestly. But I think it will make the world safer. I think it is akin to picking up trash on the side of the road. Yeah, I think being mean to men is like picking up trash on the side of the road. It's something that has to be done to keep our streets clean, clear, and kind. Someone's got to do it. Bully a man, save a woman.
Oh, Miss Deja. Oh no, it's not just white women speaking like that.
The problem is we don't have enough women disrespecting men. We don't have enough women humbling these men and putting them in their place. We need to start making these men feel worthless because they are, okay? Call him a bitch. Disrespect him. Put him down. Make him feel bad about himself. Like, what's going on here? I feel like we're losing the plot. Like, I'm seeing too many marriages and too many people getting in these relationships. That's why these men think that they're the prize. Because y'all are putting them on this pedestal, making them feel like they're the prize. No. It's your job as a woman to put that man down and put him in his place. Treat him like the animal he is.
Treat him like the animal he is. See, Deja, the clip you gonna play with what's the black Asian mix brother name, the one that be around with Myron and them. The clip you gonna play of him with the white boys saying whatever they said, we hate women or whatever they said. Everybody's seen that clip, huh? But how often are y'all honest that, well, women sound like the two clips I just played, and they sound like this?
I think the best relationships, the relationships that last the longest, is when the female is more dominant than the man. I know y'all gonna get in my comments and be like, what? But it's something about that woman being real dominant and mean that's gonna have that man acting right. Like, I have seen it too many times. Like, I can name so many relationships where it's like that. Like, the woman, she don't play no games. She real dominant. And the man is more like passive. You know, yeah, baby, you know, go along with her. Those are the best relationships. Like, I feel like when you real soft and you a lover girl, it's something about a man that's just gonna dog that. Like, he gonna take advantage. Like, it's just that dog in him. He gonna just take advantage of it. That's how I feel. I know y'all gonna get in the comments and be like, no, it's not like that. You know, we want somebody feminine. No, y'all don't. No, y'all don't. No, y'all don't. Y'all don't. I'm telling you, the best, the ones that has lasted, I'm talking about 10 plus years relationships, has been that woman who don't play no games. And I'm not saying, you know, you should just be mean to your man or whatever like that. But I'm
yes,
just
you are.
saying
That is what
I
you're
have
saying.
seen work. That's it. That's all.
Okay. Deja, my question to you still remains. Where are women like you for these women? See, you're advocating for more FDs to make themselves known. To what? Regulate men like Z? To drown out men like Z? I'ma say it to you, Deja, the same thing I've been saying to FD. Everything you're saying, Deja, means nothing if you can't get black women subsidized, Deja. Black and Latina women who never marry are the least wealthy in the US. Deja, FD signifier, foreign man, consciously, you can name all of them. You're going to name some of them in a minute, or you're going to show it in the screen, and I forgot to screenshot that, so my apologies. It doesn't matter how they speak. If those men say, you know what, you're right, I'll just stop talking about black women a certain way, and they still don't marry black women, ooh, goddamn. They still don't subsidize black women, then it means nothing. Huh, Deja? It means nothing. Deja, this is the real. Huh?
And for
Continuing.
the lack of a better term, we're going to use good. I should probably say not detrimental to society, but maybe affirmative to it. The good men.
Not detrimental to society, but affirming to it. Antisocial behavior is essentially what, well, at least what it sounds like she's saying. Deja, we don't owe women anything. Like, Deja, do you appreciate that y'all tore up the social contract, Deja? That women tore up the social contract, Deja. Do you appreciate that the men, black men, owe black women nothing?
You will put other people in this organization at risk, and that organization does not want to take that risk. So you do not have this job anymore if you decline it. With any public health decision, there has to be a consequence to you not participating in that social contract.
Deja, the women, not just black women tore up the social contract. Black women went a bit further and then torched the social contract, tore it up, torched it, or better yet, Z said the other way, tore it up, put it in the shredder, and for good measure, torched it. And in that case, Deja, if black women did that with the social contract concerning black men, then you have to appreciate that black men owe black women nothing.
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Huh? That's what it is, Miss Deja. But continuing.
What if they're not lacking in existence, but lacking in visibility? What if the good men, the thoughtful, emotionally intelligent, community-minded men, showed up in the influencing circuits with the same...
Community-minded men. I love it. I love it. The community. I see what y'all doing. Shout out to you, FD. I remember you saying that type of talk on Bernard Riley's channel. No. And y'all can't make us. Huh? The community-minded men. Because this sounds like community-minded now, doesn't it?
I don't even hide my hatred for men anymore. See, back in the day, I used to know that I had this feeling inside of me, but I didn't know how to express it. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to say anything that would get me canceled or get me having people being mad at me, or because I kind of know that like hatred for anybody is not good for your soul. So I always tried to cover it up and call it other things or like excusing and stuff like that. But baby, I ain't doing that no more. When I meet a guy, I tell him straight up from the jump, I do not like guys. But more specifically, I hate guys. I am a misandrist, and I stand 10 toes down on it, and I say it with my chest now. Like I said, I didn't always say it with my chest because I was a little bit too scared. But it then got to the point where it's just like, no, I'm not scared of anything. I'm not scared of being canceled. I'm not scared of people being mad at me. I'm not scared of the men being in my comments. I don't care. But I do want to get one thing straight. My hatred for men is not the same type of hatred that like races have, like the way that a white person would feel about a black person. Like if you just see a black person out just in public minding their own business and you just see a black person and you're like, ugh, like your face is turning red, your face is scrunching up because you just hate those black people, you know. I don't feel that way. I don't see a man like out in the wild and be like, oh, he's a man. You know, I don't feel like that. I do feel like that when the man tries to insert himself in my life or in my space in any type of way. That's when I get that, nigga, you know, that's when I get that rage feeling.
No, ma'am, you get that rage feeling towards black men, period. Deja, community-minded, right? Community-minded with black women who leave black men when they start earning more than them, and community-minded with black women who cheat on black men, right?
Hey, peace. What's up? All right. I divorced my husband. Why did I divorce my husband? I divorced my husband because I was making a certain amount of money. I divorced my husband because I thought I didn't need him anymore. I divorced my husband because I had this senior position at work and thought I held the same position at home. I divorced my husband because I thought I was better than him because I had my degree now. I divorced my husband because I thought a successful marriage meant I was here and he was down here. That is not success. That's fucking sickness. I found myself divorced and out there looking for love in all the wrong places, fucking this one and that one and that one and that one and this one and that one, and my body count going up and my value going down. I'm just gonna call it like a TI is. All the while, my husband done found somebody else building a relationship and building a life with them.
Huh. community-minded, right?
I cheated a lot of times, so you know.
I'm glad you admitted that.
So you're
Absolutely.
a cheater.
I didn't realize that. I didn't remember that there was music in the background. Yeah. But you heard what she said in the beginning. I cheated a lot of times. Community-minded. Uh-oh. Yikes. Community-minded men. You mean community eunuch men. Shout out to Obsidian. Miss Deja, call it what it is. Community eunuch men. In case of emergency, break glass boyfriends and husbands. Huh? After I done lived my quote-unquote free and fair and doing whatever I want in airy fairy life. When I have 3 eggs left. Break glass in case of emergency. Hurry up, get married to me. Get me pregnant so I can have these kids so I can divorce you within 5 years. No, ma'am. You don't mean community-minded men. You mean community eunuch men. Huh? Okay. Pharaoh said I sound muffled. My apologies, guys. Give me a second. Y'all should be able to hear me better now. That sucks. I thought I was clear the whole time. Thank you, Biro. Thank you. My apologies, y'all. Thank you, Adric. My apologies, y'all. I hope that didn't last too long, right? Okay, so yeah, that happens every once in a while. My apologies. Okay, let's say that part again, everyone. Miss Deja, when you say community-minded men, you mean community eunuch men. Huh? Can you guys hear me better now? Yeah, I'm clear now. Perfect. Right? You don't mean community-minded, madam. You mean community eunuch. Community eunuch. In case of emergency, break glass husbands. In case of emergency, in case of emergency, break glass husbands. In case of emergency, break glass boyfriends. In case of emergency, break glass baby daddies. Huh? No, madam. Black men don't owe black women being there when black women are done living their free and fast life. Huh? Community. I love that y'all trying to shame black men with community talk when y'all said nothing for decades as black women went around America disparaging black men. Deja, you're not old enough, but where were you and other women like you for decades? Huh? Deja, we don't owe y'all anything. Huh? Not with black women sounding like this.
What if black women were supposed to be the leaders and black men are just supposed to protect with their muscles and use their listening ears and carry out instructions?
Huh? Where were women like you talking about community minded with women talking like that? You want to know why more and more, you know what? I'm going to let her say it herself and then we'll address it. That young lady is essentially saying black men, all you are is cannon fodder. That don't sound worse than being barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen? You telling black men all they are is a bodyguard. Y'all wonder why Z say you're a walking wallet, a walking ATM machine, and an overglorified bodyguard to these women. That's essentially what that young lady said. Huh? Black women just supposed to direct you. They're the leaders, and all you are, because you're bigger and stronger, is just there to catch the bullets or the fist. Community minded. No, Miss Deja, you mean community eunuchs. Continuing.
Showed up in the influencing circuits with the same energy as the red pill pushers. What would our collective future look like then? Before we jump,
we would be a bunch of lames not going anywhere. If these quote unquote community minded men You mean the FDs with over 1 million subscribers that still can't push the envelope? You mean that? I said it already, Deja. Let me say it again slow. And this is no insult to your intelligence. It means nothing if black men ain't marrying black women and subsidizing them. You could get, Deja, you could get another 50,000 content creators, 100,000 black men content creators all over Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, name it. Hundreds of thousands of subscribers, millions of subscribers. If that marriage rate between black men and black women don't go up, if there are not more relationships between black men and black women where black men are subsidizing black women, it means nothing. Y'all not gonna get a bunch of community eunuch men. You know what those men gonna do? Exactly what Torre did. Ooh, goddamn. Huh? Talk that talk and then marry out. Goddamn. Exactly what Conscious Lee did. Ooh, Z, goddamn, you said it. Talk that talk and still marry out. Huh? That's what you gonna get. Will you get the oddball FDs? Of course. The foreigners? Of course. Of course. Huh? But you'll get also the Cornell West. Ooh, Z, you said it. Community minded. No, ma'am, you mean community eunuchs. Continuing.
Personally feel like is the vacuum that is good men being in public view. Please let me say this. I am not a pick-me. I am not pandering to the menfolk. I just happen to have been blessed with the...
I am not pandering to the menfolk. Deja, but you should be. Deja, but you should be. To hell with your pride and other black women's pride, ego. Deja, do you appreciate what you're actually asking the men to do? Deja, you should be pandering, and you should be telling black women, oh no, I am pandering. I'm not pandering to the menfolk. But Deja, you should be. You're asking the menfolk to come back to a table where black women are openly hostile. Huh? You're asking the men to come back to a table where black women sound like
What
this.
if black women were supposed to be the leaders and black men are just supposed to protect with their muscles and use their listening ears and carry out instructions?
Huh? You're asking black men to come back to a table where black women sound like
I
this.
miss when men used to protect, provide, and shut up.
Protect, provide, and shut up. I miss when men used to protect, provide, and shut up. Deja, you should be pandering. All black women should be pandering. Especially with decades of neglect. Actually, it's worse than neglect. Openly hostile black women.
As a man, if you don't have house court job, don't look for a woman with house court job. And for the men that complain about women that do that, look for a man that has all three and they don't have all three. We can do that. We are women. You want us. You need us. Y'all want one thing from us. And mad because we boss y'all around because you're a fucking servant. You're a provider, right? You're a protector, right? You're a security guard and you're a goddamn assistant. Know your place. Stop being contradicting. And bow down. Because I'm sick of it.
Deja, with a community full of black women like that who don't ever get checked by women like you, Deja, you should be pandering. And the Roger report says, if I'm useless, I can't protect you. If you're the leader, I expect them to protect me. Oh, Deja, you see that? That's what Mr. Z says. Patriarchy by feminist specifications. Y'all got one foot in patriarchy and one foot in feminism. And by the way, she gonna prove it in a minute. I love that the ladies are doing this. Shout out to you, Raj. Oh boy. No, Miss Deja, you should be pandering. You damn right. Continuing.
Proximity. I know good men, like genuinely good men, like help an old lady across the street put your life on the line, constantly reflecting physically and emotionally.
Put your life on the line, constantly reflecting physically and emotionally. What is that?
And emotionally present type of men are in my
Physically and emotionally present type of men put their life on the line. I told you patriarchy by feminist specifications. I told, hey, it's gonna be a whole lot of Z. I told you so as this supposed war continues. Shout out to all of you trying to weaponize whatever y'all think y'all got going on over there against the Black Manosphere in the quote unquote red pill space. Good luck to you. It's too easy. Huh? I like you said put your life on the line. Ain't no put your life on the line for equal people, ma'am. If we're equal, it's no men putting their life on the line. For what? You told us you were equal. Huh? Yikes. I said it. Patriarchy by feminist specifications. I know that's what y'all were fighting for the whole time.
If black women were supposed to be the leaders and black men are just supposed to protect with their muscles and use their listening ears and carry out instructions.
Deja, how big do you think the delta between what she said and what you said is? It's non-existent. You think you said something different than what she said? Huh? I want to stress this, Deja. Not saying it should be this way. I'm saying it is this way. Black men owe black women nothing if that's the way y'all sound. And by the way, that's the way y'all sound. Huh? Continuing.
And because of this, I am keenly aware of their existence. They exist. I have seen them. And because I see them, I know for sure that the bar is not in hell, even though the internet keeps trying to convince me otherwise.
So I found this video on YouTube on a response of a video I made with me having a desire to want to be a husband and a father. 34, I have no children. I'm not married, and I'll be 35 in May. And the older I get, the further away I feel I am from being a husband and a father. And not because I can't have kids, but because when I was younger, I realized I was gay.
But lately I've been clocking this weird.
So she's playing a clip of the brother that y'all heard him, and Abba and Preach covered it, and Abba kind of joked about it, and she's turning into something serious and trying to use that as a springboard into another part of the conversation. That's what she was playing. My apologies. Continue.
Say something that a man doesn't like. It's usually some variation of, you better be nicer to men or we're just all going to go to the right. We're going to go to the right wing. This is why you lost the election. This is why men are leaving to the right. This is why men are going to the right. Okay, we're going to get into the breakdown of the political spectrum in another video, so I'm using this word, the right. Please don't think that I'm saying that everyone on the right is a certain type of way, but this is the threat that I'm seeing pop up in comment sections, and I had never really clocked it or seen that before. And I'm not saying that any of these traits that I'm thinking of are exclusively associated with being on the right, but I've just noticed that this is so weird that this is what is being used, usually as a justification for some really insane, really far out behavior, but it makes sense.
I want to say this, and I'll be the one to stand out there. Deja, appreciate Mr. Z's not a Republican. I didn't vote for Trump in 2024, didn't vote for Trump in 2020, didn't vote for Trump in 2016. Actually worked for the Florida Democratic Party in 2016. There's that. Oh, by the way, my subscribers already know. Huh. And why shouldn't that be the threat? Ooh, Z, you said that out loud. If the personal is political and the left keeps on producing asshole women who simultaneously want to be autonomous and have their security, shout out to you, FD, for saying it out loud. Why shouldn't, remember, feminists are the ones that said the personal is political. Why shouldn't the men threaten going to the right? That's a real question. The men shouldn't threaten it and actually go through with it sometimes because, huh? If the black community gave black men the middle finger, if the black community keeps on saying to black men, no, we just want you to get rid of your toxic traits. What's what your toxic traits? Not kissing my ass, not letting me talk over you, not letting me shame you, not letting me insult you, not letting me guilt you, you not submitting to my need to be right all the time, you leaving when I weaponize the institutions against you. I just want you to get rid of the toxic trait of not being okay with me weaponizing the society against you. Huh? Me not intellectualizing my misandry, like, why can't I do that? Deja, Miss Deja, why shouldn't the threat be, oh, okay, I'll either vote independent, I'll vote Republican, or I'll couch surf? Why shouldn't that be the threat, is the question. And the problem is, Ms. Deja, I appreciate how this is being framed. The framing is the men are so fragile, the men are threatening and they're sexist, and we're not trying to get them to submit to anything. We're just telling them they can't move like how they used to move. They can't be sexist anymore. Now they just have to subject themselves to my sexism. Ooh, goddamn. At least my sexism is more benign. It's really the institutions that's going to be bludgeoning them to bow to me. Ms. Deja, you don't think that's what's going on here? Elite rich white men using the women as the buffer? You don't think that's what's going on here? You know how they do when they go to developing countries? You don't think that's a thing? Or you think that's Mr. Z and some weird out there conspiracy? Deja, you know better. You're a student of history, Miss Deja. I done checked out your channel before. You know better. You know Mr. Z ain't pulling that out of his ass. If the men threaten to vote Republican, what's the problem? Oh, they're not community minded. But why should they be community minded when the community said nothing, absolutely nothing for black women that sound like this?
If you want to date outside of your race, you need to be disciplined. When they say we're going to the gym at 5:30 in the morning, you better be up at 5 o'clock getting ready. They are not going to deal with the lack of discipline. And what we make black men put up with, they are not going to go for that. And what we make black men put up with, they are not going to go for that. What we make black men put up with, they are not going to go for that.
What we make black men put up with, these non-black men are not going to go for that. Ms. Deja, black men shouldn't threaten, and some actually do it, voting independent, Republican, or staying on the couch. They shouldn't do that because they're supposed to be community minded when women like you say nothing to women like this. Where are you for women like what I just played? Where are you? Huh? Where are you for women like this?
The problem is we don't have enough women disrespecting men. We don't have enough women humbling these men.
She said disrespect.
We need to start making these men feel worthless because they are.
We need to make them feel worthless because they are.
Disrespect him.
There you go. Disrespect him. Put him down. Make him feel bad.
Like I'm seeing too many marriages and too many people getting in these relationships. That's why these men think that they're the prize. Because y'all are putting them on this pedestal, making them feel like they're the prize. No. It's your job as a woman to put that man down and put him in his place.
Yep.
Treat him like the animal he is.
Treat him like the animal he is. Miss Deja, where are you? Where are your think pieces for women like this, Miss Deja? Where are they? Huh? That's what I thought. So if the threat is that these men are going to vote Republican, I don't see what the problem is. What's the problem? Wasn't it the feminists that said the personal is political? Well, the men took that and said, you know what? You're right. Pun intended. Continuing.
Insane, really like far out behavior. But it makes sense because being a nonchalant womanizer, cheating, lying, grifting, none of these things have ever really been seen as a bad thing or taken as seriously as it should be taken. But I firmly believe.
You said cheating, lying, and grifting? You said cheating? The men cheating?
I cheated a lot of times. So,
I'm glad you admitted.
Uh-oh. The only reason I can't play that all the way is because I didn't realize that the background music. Huh? Yikes. You said cheating, lying, and grifting. Right? Those are your words. Well, how's this for grifting, ma'am?
This is what I tell average looking and below average looking women. If you can't date up, be alone. Life is easier that way. And I know that's controversial. I don't care. I don't care.
Cheating, lying, and grifting. Oh boy. Cheating, lying, and grifting. How about lying to yourself and lying to others?
Look at me. If you were single, if you were a single woman in Charlotte, North Carolina, look at me, okay? I was feeling great about myself. I was like, I'm a bad bitch. I'm single. I don't need no man. I actually really would love a man, and I do need a man. But just, this is what we say when we're single and we just want to... Anyway, focus, Medina.
This is what we say when we're single and we... Huh. You said lying, cheating, and grifting. So Mr. Z just played for you lying, cheating, and grifting, and lying to yourself, which arguably is worse. Huh? Yikes. Huh? And here go a combination of them all.
Men are choosing themselves this year. No one is tolerating my and it's stressing me out. It's stressing me out because who gave them the rundown? Who gave them the rundown?
Where's the effort? Where's the effort? Like, why is no one begging me? Where's how dare you know your worth? Like, what?
I don't know. This was not in my bingo cards of 2025. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not in my card.
Huh. All right, Ms. Deja, continuing.
Because of the influence of our current administration, the sentiment seems to be booming right now, okay? As if that's the only way to be cool if you're doing shady shit. That's somehow the only way to find meaning. And the moment that there is
You can't send me no money for my hair. You can't send me no money for my nails. You can't give me no money for no food. You can't give me no money on my rent. You can't give me no money on my car note. Can't give me no money on my car insurance. Can't give me no money on my phone bill. Can't give me no money on my light bill. Can't give me no money on my gas bill. All you can give me is dick. Bitch, get the fuck away from me. That's all I want to hear is you get the fuck away from me, bitch. Because I don't want to hear shit if you can't do shit for me. Fuck, I like out here just giving my coochie up and you can't do nothing for me. You can't buy a bitch nothing to eat. Let's be for real, like, fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here, nigga. Move the fuck on and move the fuck around because I'm ready to move on and move the fuck around too. Like, you say to me, oh, can I get some coochie? No, bitch, can I get some money? Fuck. So I gotta pay for cat? Yes. Yes, at this point, this pussy is for sale, bitch. You want some of it, you gotta give some money for it. I need nails, I need hair, I got bills, bitch.
Huh? Not you, BGS. Not you. BGS said how much? Oh man, yikes. BGS said how much? Bruce Wayne said the similar thing earlier today. Oh man, yikes. Mr. Z said shady earlier, and yeah, maybe Mr. Z was wrong. This is so blatantly transactional. Maybe it ain't shady. Maybe it's not shady. It's too damn transactional. It's too blatantly, overtly transactional what she just pulled, and it was aggressive too. Jesus. Continuing.
Disagreement. Now there's a threat to move to the right. It's giving do what I want or men will vote for fascism. But more than that.
Okay. Do what I want or men will vote for fascism. Ma'am, wait, the men are the only ones levying threats out here? Oh, really?
As a man
said, if you are broke and I choose to deal with you, I will belittle you. It is what it is.
Huh? I spared y'all not playing the full munchkin. Wait, men are the only ones. Let me play it again because you said levying threats, right?
If you are broke and I choose to deal with you, I will belittle you. It is what it is.
Uh-oh. Huh? This woman is over here talking about taking your manhood. Wait, the men are the only ones levying threats?
I'm not submitting to no man that expect me to go 50-50. You want your wife to bear your children, cook, clean, work enough hours to handle big bills, and take care of you? You expecting me to pay big bills, baby. I'm gonna want some bussy when I get off of work. Fuck is you talking about? Bend that ass over. Let that bussy breathe. This what you wanted, right? 50-50, right? And I do mean assume the position when I get off of work. As soon as I get off of work, that ass better be tooted up. As soon as he get up off me, I'm gonna look at him like, my turn. My turn.
You want to talk about levying threats, ma'am? She says she gonna take your manhood if she's in a relationship with you and you got her paying for big bills and she paying 50-50. Levying threats. Cut it out.
Me is this quiet assumption that lives underneath all of that. And so my question would be, do these men know that there are men out there who don't feel any connection or kinship to the Manosphere rhetoric? Do they know that? Do they know that all men aren't just pre-write converts waiting to be activated by the fresh and fit intro like a sleeper cell? Do they know that there are men who are not only genuinely good and living out their principles and also at the same time have zero desire to go down that pipeline or fall for the red pill? Not all men are on the brink of radicalization. Some have already stepped off the path entirely. I know men who are emotionally literate, self-reflective, and uninterested in controlling anybody.
And uninterested in controlling anybody. That's what she said towards the end. Ma'am, Miss Sade. Well, that's the last name on her channel, but Miss Deja. Those men, if they're not getting more men to be financially responsible and obligated to Black women, it means nothing, whether they're red pill or not. It means nothing. If you can't get someone to subsidize Black women, everything you're saying, everything FD is saying, consciously is saying, foreign man in a foreign land, name them. Deontay, name them. It means nothing. Little Bill, it means nothing if you can't get Black women subsidized. Black and Latina women who never marry are the least wealthy in the world. I said in the world. They're not the least wealthy in the world. My apologies, y'all. Black and Latina women who never marry are the least wealthy in the U.S. Miss Deja, it means nothing. Miss Deja, it doesn't have to be all Black men. It doesn't have to be most Black men. It just needs to be a critical mass. And everything you saying is for naught. It's for naught. And really, what the Black community should be on concerning Black men is what this goddamn writer was on with this. Men, where have you gone? Please come back. Huh? So many men have retreated from intimacy. Say that again, Z. So many men have retreated from intimacy. One more again, Z. Dr. Umar Johnson style. So many men have retreated from intimacy, hiding behind firewalls, filters, and curated personas, dabbling and scrolling. We miss you. Well, damn. Huh? Well, damn. Yikes. It doesn't have to be all, it doesn't have to be most. Just a critical mass, ma'am. And what FD is saying means nothing if y'all can't be subsidized. If Miss Deja, you look like you live on your own, more than likely, you can financially afford it. Kim Foster can financially afford it. Huh? Juicy seems like she can also financially afford it. Cheska Lee, shout out to Cheska Lee, she looks like she can financially afford it. Most black women cannot. Like the vast majority of black women cannot. It doesn't have to be all black men. I want to emphasize this. The black men that are coming over here, the black young men that are coming over here, the black boys that are coming over here, it's because at best, women like you exist. At worst, women like Cynthia G exist and Kim Foster exist. That's why they come over here. At worst, women like Dr. Tyne exist. That's why they come over here. Huh? We're not recruiting anyone. They're coming over here because they're tired of listening to FD. Ooh, goddamn. Huh? Speaking about these men as if they live in a vacuum, as if women don't exist, black women don't exist, black women's misbehavior doesn't exist. Huh? Black women's sexism doesn't exist. That's why they're over here. Deja, continue it.
Dawned on me. Maybe they don't know. And maybe this isn't about existence or reality. What if this is a visibility issue? What if they themselves are thinking that all men are at the core the same? And men who have objectively good lives, good relationships, meaningful loads that they are carrying while living outside of the red pill, right-wing circles don't really exist. Maybe the good men don't look like they exist because they're not posting. They're not streaming narratives or playing on the totally normal insecurities of young boys and turning it.
I was waiting for it. Preying on the normal insecurities of young boys. You think this is a boy issue? This lady grown, ma'am.
Hey, peace. What's up? All right. I divorced my husband. Why did I divorce my husband? I divorced my husband because I was making a certain amount of money. I divorced my husband because I thought I didn't need him anymore. I divorced my husband because I had this senior position at work and thought I held the same position at home. I divorced my husband because I thought I was better than him because I had my degree now. I divorced my husband because I thought a successful marriage meant I was here and he was down here. That is not success. That's fucking sickness. I found myself divorced and out there looking for love in all the wrong places. Fucking this one and that one and that one and that one and this one and that one. And my body count going up and my value going down. I'm just going to call it like a TI is. All the while, my husband done found somebody else building a relationship and building a life with them.
Ma'am, that's a grown-ass woman. This is another grown-ass woman.
I don't even hide my hatred for men anymore. See, back in the day, I used to know that I had this feeling inside of me, but I didn't know how to express it. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to say anything that would get me canceled or get me having people being mad at me, or because I kind of know that like hatred for anybody is not good for your soul. So I always tried to cover it up and call it other things or like excusing and stuff like that. But baby, I ain't doing that no more. When I meet a guy, I tell him straight up from the jump, I do not like guys. But more specifically, I hate guys. I am a misandrist, and I stand 10 toes down on it, and I say it with my chest now. Like I said, I didn't always say it with my chest because I was a little bit too scared. But it then got to the point where it's just like, no, I'm not scared of anything. I'm not scared of being canceled. I'm not scared of people being mad at me. I'm not scared of the men being in my comments. I don't care.
Yep, that's a grown ass woman, ma'am. That's a grown ass woman. Uh-oh. Boys and their insecurity? Yeah. I know this is a battle for the minds, ma'am. I fully appreciate that y'all see this as an existential crisis because this is a battle for the minds of the young men and boys that y'all want to hurry up and socialize to be community eunuchs before they ever come over here. Huh? We'll see. Y'all want to hurry up and socialize them to be community eunuchs so by the time they wake up to black women's effery and bad behavior, they already got handed divorce papers. Ooh, goddamn. They're already being hit upside the head with child support. Yikes. Huh? We'll see, Miss Deja. We'll see. I would argue y'all are fighting a losing battle. We'll see. Once again, if you can't get black women subsidized, all of it is for naught. Continuing.
And turning it into something else.
But for every guy who ever opens up to his girlfriend, about 2 months later, either the relationship ends or she's cheating on the side. As much as she says that she'd love for you to open up, she truthfully, subconsciously doesn't want to hear your problems.
They're not making money off.
But madam, that's true. Even Dr. Scott Galloway said the same thing. And Logan, that's a woman, white woman, couldn't even disagree with him. You try to tell me you know better than Dr. Scott Galloway? That's true. As a matter of fact, say that again. Logan is the one who said it. The white woman who this is her job, who wrote a book about this type of stuff. That the women, when they say emotionally intelligent, what they mean is you listen to them and them trauma dump. But the second you open up, the women get squeamish. Ooh, I don't know. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I don't want to hear what you really have to say. Like when I said emotionally intelligent, that's not what I really meant. I mean, you listen to me and you shut up. And you nod your head yes. Deja, the white woman and the white man said that was true and accurate. And so now that you played this clip where I think it was an Arab sounding or looking dude, he's saying that he's not wrong. The researchers are saying that he's correct. It may make you cringe. You may not want to hear it, but the researchers are finding out more and more. Yeah, there's there's preferences and reveal preferences, and the women are lying way more than the men about what they want. As a matter of fact, ma'am, Dr. Sabrina Strings is telling you the men haven't budged from what they want. It's the women.
Well, the situation is that a lot of women want to have a romance. They love the idea of this, of a man showing up to be selfless, because we so often meet men who are selfish. And to your point about the way in which there's a boyification going on, I think that that's pretty widely accepted. So, I mean, honestly, that's why you saw me roll my eyes. It's like, I don't even think you need to apologize for that. I think women everywhere are seeing that men are turning into boys. And part of it is because of feminism. And maybe people are going to be a little bit upset about that, but that's just the reality. Romance had very clear gender roles. It said men are strong and brave, women are polite, docile. So as feminism was saying, no, you know, this is a misrepresentation of who we are. We contain multitudes, and we also deserve the right to work in public. The more women made demands into incursions into what were, for about 200 years after the Enlightenment, so-called men's spaces, the more men started to first fight back against feminism, usually in ways that women could not see, which is a way in which they hold on to power. But then also they start to draw back romance. They're like, well, are we going to be putting ourselves out for these feminist harpies and these scary career women? No, we want polite, quiet women. These are the ones who restore our classic sense of manhood. And so there is a lot of fraught and contentious, I think, interactions happening between men and women, because men have always maintained the kind of woman that they want in the aggregate.
Men have always maintained it.
Whereas women increasingly are saying, we refuse to occupy those roles.
Deja, did you hear that? There's nothing wrong with that. If the women refuse to occupy those roles, the men said, I bet. And this is where passport bros come in. Deja, this is where SYSBM come in. Deja. Dr. Sabrina Strings, who wrote a book called The End of Romance, is telling you what this cost. There's another part she ain't want to say is that the men are no longer obligated to play none of this because the women torched the social contract. Huh? Deja, the women torched the social contract and there will be consequences.
You will put other people in this organization at risk, and that organization does not want to take that risk. So you do not have this job anymore if you decline it. With any public health decision, there has to be a consequence to you not participating in that social contract.
Huh? It's that simple.
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Huh? Continuing.
They're not making money off your children. They're just living. They're loving. They're showing up quietly, reliably. But if all we are fed is the loudest man in the room, the grifter, the guy whose masculinity is basically an MLM scheme, yeah, I totally get how someone would start to believe that kindness is extinct. Again, not because it's true, but because we aren't seeing.
Kindness is extinct. Ooh, I love it. The shaming tactics. Deja. Black women, particularly concerning black men, have been so unbearably mean over the past 6 or so decades. Goddamn, Z, that long, that long. They've been excruciatingly mean. Cripplingly mean. And now you want to speak about kindness? When black women sound like this?
The problem is we don't have enough women disrespecting men. We don't have enough women humbling these men and putting them in their place. We need to start making these men feel worthless. Because they are. Okay? Call him a bitch. Disrespect him. Put him down. Make him feel bad about himself. Like, what's going on here? I feel like we're losing the plot. Like, I'm seeing too many marriages and too many people getting in these relationships. That's why these men think that they're the prize. Because y'all are putting them on this pedestal, making them feel like they're the prize. No. It's your job as a woman to put that man down and put him in his place. Treat him like the animal he is.
Deja, you want to talk about kindness? Okay. You want to support the FDs of the world, give them a bigger mic, no pun, so they can drown out men like Z. Fine. Where are the women like you to talk to women like this? Oh, you won't do it. You won't do it. Yes, then. The threat is that these men may vote Republican. And? Huh? And so what? And Detroit says, that's false because Red Pill has nothing to do with right wing. And you're right. But I'm going with her framing. Fine. The threat is that these men, these Red Pill men will vote Republican or they'll move to the right. I'm going with her framing. You're right, by the way, Detroit. But fine, for argument's sake, let's go with her framing. What's the problem? And the problem is, appreciate what she's saying. These men are not community-minded. Yes. Maybe they're not. I'm not saying they're not. I'm saying maybe they're not. And the problem is, did you say anything to the women who are not community-minded? Oh, you didn't. Yeah, that's what we thought. Huh? Yikes. So while the women are talking like this, while the women are saying what we put black men through, we cannot do that to non-black men. Appreciate what she said. What we put black men through, we can't do that to non-black men. And you want to speak about kindness?
If you want to date outside of your race, you need to be disciplined. When they say we're going to the gym at 5:30 in the morning, you better be up at 5 o'clock getting ready. They are not going to deal with the lack of discipline. And what we make black men put up with, they are not going to go for that. And what we make black men put up with, they are not going to go for that. What we make black men put up with, they are not going to go for that.
Mr. Z said that a little wrong. It's when we put black men, what we make black men put up with. Ma'am. Yeah, about that. You see? And what do you have to say to that? Nothing. Oh, yeah, that's what we thought. Mm-hmm. Keep talking about these black men and critiquing them in a vacuum. Let us know how it works out when it doesn't work out. Huh? Yikes. Continuing. Talk about kindness. All right, Deja. That sound, in other words, ignore the black women's misbehavior. Understand that, well, she's going to continue to do it no matter what you do. So just eat it. Okay, yeah, that's it. Continuing.
Hey bros of the world. A couple weeks ago, TikTok's weekly beef session landed on Deontay Kyle, who I've talked about on this channel quite a bit, but that's because I really want him to win. He uses his Grits and Eggs podcast to discuss everything from outdated gang culture norms to community accountability.
You may not harass women. You may know how to take rejection. The majority of men that most women deal with do not. And you are accountable for that as well.
Being a better man than
community, what she said, accountability? Community accountability, what she really meant is men community accountability. And look at what she clipped out. It's Deontay Kyle saying, you may not harass women, but the majority of men do. And you got to be held accountable for that. And another black man gets his passport. And another black man goes SYSBM. Ooh. Oh, Deja, not you. Oh, no. Oh, Deja, boy, y'all are failing forward. Oh, y'all are failing forward. No wonder that marriage rate is for black folks is in the trash can. Woo. Community accountability. You mean black men community accountability. And you clip out Deontay saying that black men are accountable and should be held responsible for what, the one-off black man that supposedly harasses a black woman? No, and now what? Deontay, make us. Ooh, Z, goddamn, you said that out loud? No. See, Deja, we can't make you say anything to the women that sound crazy and that sound like this.
I think the best relationships, the relationships that last the longest, is when the female is more dominant than the man. I know y'all gonna get in my comments and be like, what? But it's something about that woman being real dominant and mean that's gonna have that man acting right. Like, I have seen it too many times. Like,
she said mean.
Name so many relationships where it's like that. Like, the woman, she don't play no games. She real dominant. And the man is more like passive. You know, yeah, baby, you know, go along with her. Those are the best relationships. Like, I feel like
go along with her.
When you real soft and you a lover girl, it's something about a man that's just gonna dog that. Like, he gonna take advantage. Like, it's just that dog in him. He gonna just take advantage of it. That's how I feel. I know y'all gonna get in the comments and be like, no, it's not like that. You know, we want somebody feminine. No, y'all don't. No, y'all don't. I just, no, y'all don't. Y'all don't. I'm telling you, the best, the ones that has lasted, I'm talking about 10 plus years relationships, has been that woman who don't play no games. And I'm not saying, you know, you should just be mean to your man or whatever like that. But I'm just saying what I have seen work. That's it. That's all.
Huh? Deja, is there any community responsibility or any community accountability from black women for women like that? Y'all not gonna say nothing to her? Okay, fine. It's too intimate. Z, you're focusing too much on intimate relationships. Huh? What about black women that sound like this to black men in general?
As a man, If you don't have house core job, don't look for a woman with house core job. And for the man that complain about women that do that, look for a man that has all three and they don't have all three. We can do that. We are women. You want us. You need us. Y'all want one thing from us. And mad because we boss y'all around because you're a fucking servant. You're a provider, right? You're a protector, right? You're a security guard and you're a goddamn assistant. Know your place. Stop being contradicting. And bow down. Because I'm sick of it.
Anything to say about that, Miss Deja? No? No community responsibility or accountability from black women for women like that? No? No. Huh? You're not going to play a clip of a black woman saying how black women need to be held accountable for this? No? Huh? You want Deontay to win, huh? You don't want black women that say, hey, black women, we got to be held accountable for how we talk to black men. We're pushing them away. We're being sexist. We're being trolls. We're being misandrous. No? You're not going to say nothing to Kim Foster for how she speak, huh? You got nothing to say to Chrissy, huh? Nothing to say to Real Talk with Yanny, huh? No, no. Did any of you say anything about Cynthia G when she was on YouTube? No? No. Okay, that's what I thought. Any of y'all said anything about Divested Zealot in the thumbnail she used to have for her channel? Oh, if you don't know, just in case you don't know, at one point, yes, Divested Zealot, black woman, her thumbnail was a black man being hung on one side of a tree and a black girl swinging like a swing set from the other side of the tree. That was her thumbnail. Huh? That was her thumbnail for her channel. You don't have anything to say about that, Deja? No? Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. There's no accountability from black women for that. And by the way, that was her thumbnail for years. Huh? Yikes. Y'all don't have anything to say about this,
I miss
huh?
when men used to protect, provide, and shut up.
Is there any community, right? Any community responsibility from black women for that type of talk? No? No community accountability for that type of talk from black women? No, no. Y'all not gonna try to regulate her? No, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought. Huh? Once again, Deja, it means what y'all are doing means nothing if you can't get black women subsidized. Continuing.
And you are accountable for that as well.
Being a better man than you were the day before. He brings in insight not only from his life, but also from what he's learning raising his own kids. But that did not stop the storm coming for him in episode 68 of his pod when he was discussing modeling accountability within your circle. And I think what makes me so excited about his podcast,
Modeling accountability within your circle. Translation: chastise them Negroes for not kissing black women's ass. Continuing.
you're starting to see a shift happening where more men are speaking out in this way. And it's not only bringing in, breaths of fresh air, but it's showing just how much we are in a publicly good dude desert. Justin Scott, JJ Williams, Lamont Hill, Sam, aka Good Trouble, Bradley Thornton. There's like 10 other people that I can think of off the top of my head. Different men, all different backgrounds, sending messages of accountability, vulnerability, only to be called simp and panderer while simultaneously living the lives that men say that they dream of. But that aspect is kind of ignored because you were nice to a woman. It's like,
nope, you don't get away with that, Miss Deja. You know what a simp means. Women know what simp actually means. They're playing dumb. If you know what a sellout is, if you know what a coon is, you know what a simp is. You know what a simp is? Derek Jackson. And he wasn't really actually a simp now, was he? Ooh, goddamn. You know the man that say the things that the women want to hear and he chastises the men and he disses the men, but actually he's living an alternative life. Ooh. He's out here exercising his options while he's married to his wife. Ooh. See, when we told y'all Derek Jackson out here simping and he probably don't mean nothing he said, women much like you, Miss Deja, called us all type of sexist, misogynistic, misogynorous monsters. And then the story came out about what he was on concerning his wife and all them side chicks. And we were proven right, and women like you got real silent. Well, some of the women like you. You know what a simp is. It's not just quote unquote being nice to women. No, no, no. Nope. A simp is a person who goes out of their way to protect black women who don't need protecting. A simp is a person who knows and knowingly sees a black woman misbehaving and dares black men to say anything about it. Uh-oh. A simp is a person who minimizes black women's misbehavior, black women and their toxic rhetoric towards black men. They actually back up the black woman and they dare black men to say anything about it. They're willing to put their life on the line for black women to speak negatively about black men. You know what a simp is. You want simps. Just say you want simps, Deja. Just say you want simps, Deja. Just say simping ass black men. That's the natural order of things. That's the way it should be. Because Deja, when you're saying what you just said about, they're simps because they're nice to women, you're not saying anything much different than what this young lady is saying.
I miss when men used to protect, provide, and shut up.
Protect, provide, and shut up. That's simp behavior. I miss when men used to protect, provide, and shut up. You didn't say much of anything different than what that young lady just said.
I miss when men used to protect, provide, and shut up.
Uh-oh. Huh? I love when women try to say, y'all are calling him simp because he's nice to women. Y'all are calling him simp because he respects women. No, we're calling him simp because he sees your misbehavior. He sees what you're on, and he's still, quote unquote, protecting you. He's not protecting you. He probably wants the off chance of getting some vagina. He's white knighting everything. He doesn't believe half of what he says. Ace Metaphor 81. Ooh, goddamn. Derek Jackson with yikes. Huh? Foreign man in a foreign land. Oops. Uh-oh. We're not calling men simps because they're nice to women. Cut it out. Continuing.
Performance versus living out the actual ideals that lead to a good life. We have become addicted to the theater. And I know that we want to blame stuff on social media, but this isn't a new thing. My dad would tell me stories about how growing up in the 80s, his own friends, or at least guys that he thought were his friends, would make fun of him for not wanting to share his girlfriend with the group, or that he was a simp for treating the girl that he was dating with respect. Tale as old as time. And it makes sense because so much of what's popular right now isn't masculinity. Again, it is theater. I've got the starter pack. This is who I need to be. It's straight up culture war rhetoric and empty vulnerability being used as brand strategy. We have
culture war rhetoric? Do you really want to get into that? Culture war rhetoric? You played Andrew Wilson earlier. You want to talk about culture war rhetoric?
I do believe genuinely that there needs to be a public works department that is dedicated to being mean to men. Like Parks and Rec, like sewage, like being mean to men. Or we could laterally integrate, whatever that means. I don't know what that means. We could laterally integrate being mean to men into these departments, like pick up the trash, degrade a man, you know what I mean? Clean up a park, insult a man. We've said it time and time again. Women in a relationship with a shitty man, we turn him into a good man for the next woman, right? What if we all just collectively, because what's happening in those relationships is we're bullying them. That's what's happening. What if we all just did that?
She's admitting to bullying men.
What keeps the world safe. The world's not even safe, honestly. But I think it will make the world safer. I think it is akin to picking up trash on the side of the road. Yeah, I think being mean to men is like picking up trash on the side of the road. It's something that has to be done to keep our streets clean, clear, and kind. Someone's got to do it. Bully a man, save a woman.
Huh? You said culture war rhetoric, ma'am. Your words. Huh? Yikes. Culture war rhetoric,
What if
right?
black women were supposed to be the leaders and black men are just supposed to protect with their muscles and use their listening ears and carry out instructions?
Culture war rhetoric. Yeah, that's it. Huh? It's fascinating listening to the Dejas of the world in their framing as if they're much different than these very overtly antagonistic, particularly black women, but non-black women also. Madam, just admit you want the system to put the thumb on the scales for the ladies, for the women. You want like you said, you want the Deontay's to win. Win what exactly? Right? What make the undesirable men a bunch of community eunuchs for women who don't want to be with them in the first place? But they lost the battle for the elite men? The tall, good-looking, rich black men, maybe white or non-black men, huh? Deontay can't make us do anything. FD can't make us do anything. Lil Bill consciously, they can't make us do anything. And it doesn't have to be most of us. It doesn't have to be all of us. A critical mass. You're not going to get all of black men to sign up to be community eunuchs, to mean, snarky, rude, entitled, consumerist, materialistic brats. Deja, it's not going to happen. Good luck on trying, though. Huh? Good luck on trying. Continuing.
Brand strategy. We have created a reward system where shouting your pain is more profitable than healing it. Because if you heal their pain, you have no more customers. Where high value is something you market, not something you practice. But my question, dear watchers, what if we flipped it? What if the most visible male influencers were dads, teachers, social workers, coaches? Can you imagine podcasts where tenderness is actually not the punchline? Or the grounds for accusations of being a panderer because you could see something from someone else's perspective? A lot of times we talk about this behavior, we call out this behavior, and it's usually met with something like, oh, that doesn't happen in real life. You know, that's just online. And for the most part, I do think that that is true. But to that point, what's even scarier for me is the reality that at the end of the day, people in the United States are heavily influenced by media. And a lot of those chronically online folks are influencing much further and much faster than anything else. So much so that it's starting to move outside of the online spaces and it is showing up offline.
What'd you say?
Popsy. What? No, wait. We love women. We love women. We love women.
Not like transgenders.
Yes, sir. We love everybody. No.
Okay,
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, man. Preach.
And it's just honestly one of those.
What's Buddy Road name again? I forgot Buddy's name. Right? So she plays that clip, which they have spammed all over mainstream media. Huh? I don't see what the problem is. If we have a bunch of girls walking around here with boys have cooties throw rocks at them, huh? What's the problem, Deja? Did you say anything about those type of shirts? Huh? No? Okay, that's what I thought. Huh? So if y'all are not saying anything about the boys have cooties throw rocks at them, if Deja, there was just a whole campaign online a week ago of men should start off in jail. Yeah, it was Sneeko. Thank you, Joes. Huh? We just had that whole campaign from women, white women, black women, some Latinas, some Asians, but mainly white women and black women, of course, always. Men should start off in jail and have to work their way out. Did you say anything to that? You want to talk about culture war talk? Did you say anything to that? Of course you didn't. Of course not. I'll check. Maybe Z is wrong. It's possible. Huh? It's possible. Maybe you did. I'm almost certain you didn't, but maybe you did. I'll check your Instagram page. I'll check your YouTube. Huh? Continuing.
How these attitudes are spilling out into the world. My 7-year-old niece had another 7-year-old tell her that if she didn't do what he wanted her to do, he was going to grape her. 7. Whether we like it or not, the discourse is spilling offline. And rather than pretending certain things happen online and online only, what would getting control of that narrative look like? In this day and age, the podcast has become the barbershop. What if those barbershops became centers of political and emotional education again? This is kind of my call to arms, I'm realizing.
Political and emotional education again. In context of this conversation, what that mean is, what about if we had more and more of the Deontay Cows and FDs just bludgeon these men to death about how they should be community eunuchs for wayward, asshole black women? There, I fixed it for you, Deja. There, I fixed it for you. Continuing.
Call to arms, I'm realizing. What if more boys were able to see and believe that power could look like more than control and shame and fear? What would it look like if we saw more frequently these good men show how power can be drawn from stillness and awareness? What if emotion...
You mean our grandfathers who our grandmothers low-key despised but still needed? You mean that? You mean the grandfathers that we barely know his full name? You mean that? What about if we went back to that? You mean the grandfathers that paid for their daughters to go to college and their daughters took feminist classes and never got married to their baby daddy and now use their sons as your cash cow? You mean that? You mean if we raised a bunch of men that we raised a couple generations ago? You mean that? Oh, you mean the black men that we have reread history about and we made them the boogeyman of the black community? The color purple type of black men that we're talking crap about? The men that operated in stillness. Isn't that what you just said? Wasn't that our granddads? You mean the men like Kim Foster's dad, and the only time she really bring him up is to say that black men aren't moving like quote-unquote true patriarchs. In other words, the men that y'all insult until y'all need to use them to weaponize against the rest of us. You mean that? You mean the men y'all don't even want to mention because y'all doing the whole Shiro's thing and her story and her story. You mean the men y'all ignore until it's time to use them against the rest of us? You mean that? Oh, okay, I get it. Continuing.
Honesty was the flex. What if people had visibility into a very real form of manhood that's not measured by who you can dominate, but by who feels safer when you walk into the room? That exists. That is a thing that is in existence. And yeah.
We don't owe you safety. It's that simple. We don't owe you safety. I've said this a million times, Deja. I'm not saying this is sustainable. I'm not saying this is part of upward mobility or community uplift or protecting black women or this is about black children. No. Simply put, black women want to be selfish assholes, so we let you feel the fire. Or the cold. Oops. Or the cold. Y'all can feel the cold too. Huh? But simply put, we don't owe you. We don't owe you feeling safe. We don't owe you feeling safe in our presence. And FD and Deontay can't make us. Lil Bill can't make us. Foreign Man can't make us. And now what? You don't want to get on a black man's program? Then go get on the white man's program. You don't want to get on the white man's program? Go get on the Latino man's program. You don't want to get on his program? Then go munch on another woman or be munched on by another woman or just stay your ass single with your rose toy. We don't owe you safety. You put out this think piece advocating for the FDs and the Deontays to come and regulate, well, black men like Z. Huh? I said it already. We don't need all black men. We don't need most. We just need a critical mass. And we don't owe you feeling safe. Huh? Z has sisters. I'm not saying this is sustainable. I'm not saying this is the world that Z wants to live in. But be very clear, black women have been very mean, very condescending, and have weaponized the institutions in the black community and some of the ones outside against black men. They have used intersectionality to benign neglect the plights of black men. Deja, black men owe black women nothing. It's that simple. Continuing.
What if more of those men started podcasts that weren't just smoke and mirrors and misogyny and, bad experiences from high school? What if?
And there you go. Bad experiences from high school. Because this lady looked like she's a high schooler, right?
I cheated a lot of times, so
I'm glad you admitted that.
Huh? That's high school, right? This is high school, right?
I don't even hide my hatred for men anymore. See, back in the day, I used to know that I had this feeling inside of me, but I didn't know how to express it. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to say anything that would get me canceled or get me having people being mad at me, or because I kind of know that like hatred for anybody is not good for your soul. So I always tried to cover it up and call it other things or like excusing and stuff like that. But baby, I ain't doing that no more. When I meet a guy, I tell him straight up from the jump, I do not like guys. But more specifically, I hate guys. I am a misandrist, and I stand 10 toes down on it, and I say it with my chest now. Like I said, I didn't always say it with my chest because I was a little bit too scared. But it then got to the point where it's just like, no, I'm not scared of anything. I'm not scared of being canceled. I'm not scared of people being mad at me. I'm not scared of the men being in my comments. I don't care.
Huh. High school, right? High school. Yeah.
I think the best relationships, the relationships that last the longest, is when the female is more dominant than the man. I know y'all gonna get in my comments and be like, what? But it's something about that woman being real dominant and mean that's gonna
Real dominant and mean. Be very clear. She said mean. Deja, she said mean. Mr. Z ain't putting words in her mouth. She said mean. High school. That's an adult woman, right? High school. Your words, high school. Yikes. High school, right?
Black women were supposed to be the leaders, and black men are just supposed to protect with their muscles and use their listening ears and carry out instructions.
High school. Right? Mr. Z will spare y'all munchkin. Don't worry about it. High school, right?
I miss when men used to protect, provide, and shut up.
High school trauma. Right? That's high school, right? High school.
If you are broke and I choose to deal with you, I will belittle you. It is what it is.
High school. Huh? High school.
If you want to date outside of your race, you need to be disciplined. When they say we're going to the gym at 5:30 in the morning, you better be up at 5 o'clock getting ready. They are not going to deal with the lack of discipline. And what we make black men put up with, they are not going to go for that. And what we make black men put up with, they are not going to go for that. What we make black men put up with, they are not going to go for that.
High school. Yeah, about that. I don't know, Miss Deja. I don't know. Huh? Because that's all high school trauma stuff, right? Yeah. Nope. Continuing.
From high school. What if they use their voices to heal instead of harm? What I've noticed in my time on this rock is that a lot of times when someone is actually genuinely good, they don't think about what they're doing. They just do it. It's not because it's transactional or they're trying to prove something or they're trying to make money off of you, which I think makes it hard for people to realize that what they are doing is something worth sharing. All that yapping to say, if you're a man watching this, maybe it's time to hit record. Okay. Not to rant, but to reflect. Maybe share some lessons. Talk about the time you pushed back in that group chat. Talk about the time that you had to stop hanging out with somebody because they were just being a little bit too aggressive or weird to the ladies. Mentor.
We don't owe you that. Continuing.
Pass down the recipes. What's stopping you from using your voice? Maybe starting a podcast.
You want to know what's stopping them? Because they know we're right. Ooh, goddamn. But Deja, the supposed good guys know that y'all, dear Deja, women like you are attempting to weaponize men like them against men like Z. The supposed good guys, they don't agree with FD as much as you think they do. FD don't even agree with FD. Ooh, goddamn. Damn, Z, you're not supposed. Foreign don't agree with foreign. Ooh. Huh? You want to know why? Because they know eventually we're going to back their ass right into a corner, especially if they have open panels. Too easy. The guys you think are good guys, they are good guys. But it's going to be real difficult to press record and sound like Deontay when you know women are out here messing up, black women are out here misbehaving, and when somebody like Z eventually calls in and back your ass into the corner, it's going to be real embarrassing. You're going to have to hang up on Z. Huh? Yikes. The reason why they're not picking up a microphone is because most men can't just straight up lie like that. They know they're sinning. They may not know the term, but they know they're telling black men to sign up to be community eunuchs for wayward black women who low-key, high-key despise them. You want to know why they're not picking up a microphone? Huh? You want to know why they're not pressing record? You know, in the black manosphere, we have black men who have raised daughters, successful daughters. We have black single fathers here who have kids. I ain't gonna shout out the brother right now. He know who I'm talking about. Is he here right now? He might be asleep. Right? No, he'll catch it on the replay. He know who I'm referring to. Huh? Deja, you want to know why they're over here? We have married black men. We have single black men. We have black men with children. We have black men in relationships with black women. We have black men in relationships with non-black women. We have blue-collar black men, white-collar black men earning six figures and plus, well into the six figures. We have young black men that are just now starting off their adult life. You want to know why they're over here? Because they see FD as a straight up liar. They do not trust Deontay Cow. Huh? You want to know why they're over here? You want to know why they won't press record and disagree with Z and agree with the FDs of the world and the little bills of the world and the foreign mans of the world and the conscious lees of the world? Because they won't be able to go to sleep at night, knowing that they're sending black men out there to get Swiss cheesed up in divorce court. They don't want to send black men out there to be little naive, little gullible cannon fodder for wayward black women who are going to divorce him in 5 years anyway. Huh? You want to know why they don't press record? You want to know why they over here in the black manosphere? Why they listen to black manosphere content? Because for decades, it was women like you who had the microphone. It was women like Kim Foster. It was women like T. Noir. It was women like Khadijah. The boomers and older Xers, yeah, they were like y'all. The Terry McMillans, the Oprahs, huh? The Bell Hooks, huh? The Alice Walkers, huh? The Shonda Rhimes. It was women like you. Huh? What are you talking about? That's why they're over here. The black manosphere exists because we've been having women like you for decades. Of varying degrees, some that speak a little bit slower and intentional with calmer and soothing voice, like you. And then some with the annoying ass Midwestern mom, Bobby's World mom sounding ass women like Cynthia G. We've been having black women like that for decades. That's why there's a black manosphere. Huh? You want these men to hit record and say what exactly? Hey, don't believe your lying eyes. So we understand. Look, they're not misbehaving. They not saying sexist things. It's the way you're interpreting it. She don't want you to kiss her ass and shut up and know your place. That's not what she said. That's the way you taking it. That's not. Wait, what? Huh? She's not enjoying watching you fail. She doesn't want to weaponize the institutions against you so that you can bow to her. That's not what's happening. Okay, yeah, that's it. Huh?
Podcast
Continuing.
with your equally yoked homies. Pick up the mic. Please say something worth hearing, I beg of you. And if you're not a man, and you're like me, very aware of the presence of really good men, one, go hug them if you can, and express your appreciation for their existence. But two, how do we help good men feel safe being visible? How can we create space for the good men around us to step forward? How do we shift the spotlight to those who are already doing the work? Because they're out there. And because there's really no way that I can accept, no one should be accepting that if you happen to like your wife or the women that are around you, or if you're someone who is modeling growth, well, that makes you a simp or a pan.
I love if you like your wife. Oh my God, you wouldn't even be with her if you didn't like her. Oh my God. I'm sorry, Deja. Men don't operate like women. Women are the ones who get married to a man they don't like because of some agenda. Ooh, goddamn, Z, you wasn't supposed to say that out loud. That's why women are the ones who file for divorce outside of the black community by 70%, in the black community by 80%. It is mainly financial, by the way. Huh? Deja, the men don't operate like the women. We don't marry women we don't like. Not black men anyway. That's a you problem, not a men problem. That's a women problem. The men who marry women that they like or they don't, however you framed it. Deja, that's not how the men move. That's how the women move. Nice try, though. So, as I said before, and it's ending out, I'm done with this. The women are attempting to, and the black men like FD, they're forming their bizarro group of black men who are supposed to be coming at us. Good luck on that. It's gonna be real difficult. It's gonna be real difficult to fight against all the clips Z got. That's why y'all can't address Z straight up. I get you. Huh? Deja, I'm gonna say this to you again, just like I've said to FD a zillion times. Everything y'all are doing and saying over there means nothing if you can't get black women subsidized. It means nothing. Huh? And as better you sit here, hit record and read the statement we gave you. Huh? And that's really what she's trying to get black men to do. And not enough black men are going to do it. It doesn't matter if FD got over 1 million subscribers. It means nothing if he can't get black women subsidized. Huh? You gonna read it again, Z? You gonna read it again? Black and Latina women who never marry are the least wealthy in the U.S. And there you go. Huh? Thank you. And Pastor OG says, a real man will bring out the feminine in her type dudes. Yep. Yep. See, y'all are so late to the party. Y'all ignored us so long. Y'all minimized us so long and our effects. Wait a minute, didn't FD said we're not impactful? Isn't that what he said to Z about 2 years ago? We ain't really pushing the needle. They just tends to disagree. So we're in 2025. When did I have that conversation with FD? Was that 2022 or 2023? Didn't FD tell us a couple years ago that we ain't really pushing the needle? We're not really impactful here. Here's Deja in 2025, mid 2025. Literally, we're in July. What, 2 days from now? So mid 2025, Deja's actually saying, "Oh no, it's scary. It's leaking into the real world." In other words, it's being impactful. Uh-oh. FD, you told us we weren't impactful. Huh? You said you pretty much said we're a bunch of nobodies. Zio owned it. Yikes. Huh? And let me read these super chats because Z got to go. Got things to do. And Detroit says, black men admire to black women. Black men is ass worshipping, and black women booty hole for zombie community. I'm a little lost. Black men is ass worshipping, the black booty hole for a zombie community. We don't owe them worshiping them. We don't owe them even protecting them. I'm not saying that's right. Mr. Z has sisters. Mr. Z has a mom. Mr. Z would love if something is going on that black men feel obligated to protect Sister Z and Mama Z. With that said, the way black women have been speaking for years, for decades, black women are not owed protection from black men. I'm glad you said put your life on the line. I've said it before. Deja, Mr. Z said it. What y'all are actually asking for is patriarchy by feminist specifications. And I would argue, when y'all let and give the details for what that looked like, the majority of black men are going to say no to that. Wait, the majority of black men already said no to that. What that marriage rate look like? Ooh. What that interracial marriage rate is looking like more and more with black men. Yikes. Huh? In Detroit, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Detroit continued. He said, so red pill or manosphere is a real problem for these hyenas and witches, while Cynthia G or Desperation 7 out here telling them to delete their babies. Yeah. You're right. I think you meant to say Shira 7. Is that? I think that's what you meant to say. But either way, yeah. And that's why I said to Deja, where was she with Cynthia G? It took a white woman to get Cynthia G the hell up out of here. Deja, it took a white woman to get Cynthia G the hell up out of here. Black women knew about Cynthia G for years. They knew about her speech. Let me say this just in case you don't know what Cynthia G was saying. This was a woman with over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. She was saying openly, not covertly, openly, that if black men are not going to essentially build the black community to be Wakanda, that we need to delete unborn black babies, black male babies, excuse me. Make sure you do not bring a black male baby to term, because why would you if black men aren't going to elevate black women to essentially upper middle class and above white womanhood? Black women knew about her speaking like that for years. Black women did nothing. Deja, where were you? Where were you? Huh? Yikes. A Split Jim says she's asking black men to pander to these automatons. Once again, we owe them nothing. Deja, I'm not saying this is good for community. What I am saying is black women never cared about what's good for community, online especially. And the beauty of the internet and social media is that the black women are recording themselves speaking this way. This is not like curated and perfectly manicured speech. This is not sliced and perfectly edited speech. It's black women openly saying the black community needs to be a matriarchy or else. And Deja, women like you and Kim Foster always knew that that was what was being said here. Y'all just don't want that said out loud, because then the passport bros make too much sense. SYSBM make too much sense. Black men that feel no obligation to black women, black children, and black community, especially because he has none. No women, no children, and no community behind his back. No community that have his back. Y'all always knew this was the case. Y'all didn't want the masses of black men to know that the black community was a gynocracy, if you want to be accurate, a matriarchy if you want to be kind. That was the goal. It was for black men to never know this. And still to this day, when that's brought up, no, the black community is not a matriarchy just because you were raised by a single mother. And the black community, black men said, yes, it is because I said so. And now what? And now I'll date out. Now, if I want black, I'll go to Africa or the Caribbean or Latin America. And black women, y'all can operate your matriarchy, your gynocracy with a decreasing amount of black men. Hopefully you can substitute the black men with white men. Have fun with that one. The math don't math on that one. Hopefully, for your sake, you could substitute the decreasing amount of black men with Latino men. I ain't even gonna mention Asian men. That's not a thing. And Split Jim, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. KW Don says the big beautiful bill is in the Senate. Good luck. Yeah, it looks like it's struggling though. It may not pass. I'm not saying it's not gonna pass. It's looking kind of shaky. It's looking kind of shaky. Yeah. And KW Don, thank you for the super chat. It's looking kind of shaky. But yeah, that big beautiful bill passed. Oh man. And I'm not saying that black men are gonna go unscathed. That would be a lie. See, we don't lie over here. We don't lie to black men over here. I'm saying black women go feel that big beautiful bill pass. First of all, working class people gonna feel that. Working poor people gonna feel that. You better hold on to your hats. Huh? All the strong and independent black women, we'll see. Now Deja over here talking about putting your life on the line, talking to black men and community responsibilities, talking to black men. Non-Deja black women been talking too crazy, too reckless for too long. And what black men are saying to black women now that it's getting cold, black men are saying to black women,
hey, yo, hey, niggas get shot every day, B. You be alright, nigga. You tough, right?
huh? You know what else black men are saying to black women?
I'm tired of this, Grandpa. That's too damn bad.
Huh? No, Deja, black women been sounding absolutely crazy in person, in real life, and definitely on the internet for the past 15 or so years. Oh no, Deja, black women been sounding absolutely nutty. No pun. Huh? And now you want to talk about community responsibility and black men putting their life on the line for these wayward ass women? I gotta play it, y'all. I'm sorry about it. We got to play it. We got to do it. You want black men to put their life on the line for women like this? Absolutely not.
As a man, if you don't have house core job, don't look for a woman with house core job. And for the man that complain about women that do that, look for a man that has all three and they don't have all three. We can do that. We are women. You want us. You need us. Y'all want one thing from us. And mad because we boss y'all around because you're a fucking servant. You're a provider, right? You're a protector, right? You're a security guard and you're a goddamn assistant. Know your place. Stop being contradicting. And bow down. Because I'm sick of it.
Yeah, we don't owe black women that sound like that, Deja. Absolutely not. We don't owe a community full of black women that sound like that. That black women like you won't regulate. You come over here and try to sick the FDs and the Deontay's on men like Z. You come over here and do that, but checking other black women, oh no, y'all don't do that. Nope. You let them run wild and free. Absolutely not. And Better You says, and thank you for the super chat, take her mic. Her type just wants to break wolves. Exactly. Meanwhile, Balamuccio stopped by the crib. We on the balcony drinking some Shell and Portillo. Right? Shout out to Balamuccio, the great. Right? Balamuccio, the great. Got something to say. Where you at, Balamuccio? The pet, Mr. Z's pet aunt. You heard right. Here we go.
So where are the men? Where do y'all hang out?
if you don't go to coffee.
I have been watching this colony of ants for maybe the last 30 minutes. I've even given them names, life stories. That's Barlamuccio. He's always been a loner. And if you sit and watch Barlamuccio for about 30 minutes, you'll notice, see, he just quick to pass off. He is his own ant. And notice how he's a lot bigger than a lot of the other ones as well. Oh, Barlamuccio, I will miss you, because I won't realize which one you are after this interaction.
And thus ended the tale of Barlamuccio. Good old Barlamuccio.
Huh? Thank you for the super chat. Better you, thank you for the super chat. And it is her trying to break wolves. It's the same. She's pulling the same thing Kim Foster tried to pull. What, a month or so ago, 2 months ago, with invoking her father, bringing up her father. So that's what we are now, trying to shame black men because there's not enough FDs to go around and Deontay's to go around. Mark Lamont Hill, Dr. Mark Lamont Hill to go around. So now y'all trying to what? Use the Mark Lamont Hills to shame the rest of us back in line? No. And now what? And you can't make us. And now what? Huh? And once again, thank you for the super chat, better you. Electrician 480 says support black male media. Y'all support black male media. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Huh? And thank you for that, sir. Thank you for that. You are a scholar and a gentleman. Right? Yikes. Wanting black men in the black manosphere, or black men writ large, to do for black women. I said black men writ large. Black men in aggregate to do for black women. Meanwhile, the black community is full of what?
That's how it starts, you know. Taking bitches out to eat, meals and whatnot. Next thing you know, you wake up in a rest haven for hoes. A sanctuary for scandalous skeezers and stunts.
That's the black manosphere speaking to the Deontays and the foreign mans and the FDs like they don't know. They know, by the way, don't ever get it twisted. Deontay know exactly what we're talking about over here. FD know exactly what we're talking about over here. Foreign man know exactly what we're talking about over here. Huh? Lil Bill, those brothers are not dumb. They're not slow. They've had experiences. They know exactly what we're talking about. We're just not supposed to be talking about it. That's the problem. Huh? Charles says scandalous skeezers and stunts. I mentioned you earlier. Well, mentioned you without name. And Charles says meals and whatnot. Now, my favorite part is the scandalous skeezers and stunts, the meals and whatnot. That's funny too. But the scandalous skeezers, that's hysterical, right? And once again, electrician 480. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. KMS also says, he says, it doesn't matter what this broad thinks. It's even beyond us at this point. The pain in the system and the pain in the ass black women have made black men's choice. There you go. Right? And KMS has only said what Zia said. The black man most black men are not interacting with the black manosphere. You're right about that. You're right about that, KMS. And Deja is right about that also. Miss Deja is right about that also. Most men are not going to interact with none of this red pill content online or the black manosphere. Do you understand how much of a problem that is, though? They're not going to interact with this, and they're still going to come to similar conclusions. They may not have the words, but they're going to express the same sentiment because of the black women's misbehavior. It's black women's behavior, ma'am. When the black men that do come over here and the non-black men that listen in on the sneak, the non-black men that steal a bunch of the stuff from over here on the sneak, the reason why they come over here, ma'am, is because of the behavior of the women. We're not recruiting. Huh? We're not putting flyers out. Huh? We don't have club promoters, ma'am. They're seeking something, and when they bump into FD, they're like, nah, this ain't it. I said FD, he already got 1 million subscribers. He could mess around and have 2 million subscribers, 3 million subscribers. It means nothing if he can't get black men to subsidize black women. Me and you both know that, Deja. It means nothing, and I'm glad you're actually saying it. If y'all can't get black men to sign up to be community eunuchs. Huh? Y'all are trying to say it in so many words, in different words. They ain't signing up for that. These young men, they're not, young black men are not signing up for that. They're going to go with the white girls, to be fair to you. Huh? To be honest with you, they're not signing up for that. They going right wherever it's the path of least resistance, that's where they going. Huh? You can't get these brothers to sign up for what you're talking about. Wherever the white girls are, or the non-black women that are a bit kinder, wherever they are, that's where them brothers going. Oops.
Y'all know I've been seeing this float around. I had to say something. And this has been going on for years. Like Einstein and them, they couldn't even figure this out. Nobody can really figure out, like, based on the numbers by the physics of the calculus through the science of the biology, which one do you go? Based on my calculations and through my hypothesis, you always gotta go right, but you go left for a night. I repeat that. You always gotta go right, but fuck it, we gotta go left for a night. For a night, ladies, give us a night. What? It's 5 black niggas. They want us to pull. We always do this. Like, we might not ever see this again. When do all these white hoes want to see us? We don't know. This don't happen for us. This don't even happen for us. If they want to link us, we gotta go left. We gotta just take a little leap of faith. We ain't never done this. We ain't never done this. And then they just like us, like, oh, let me see your waves. All right, bitch, you can see them. Come on. Fuck it. But we always go right. We grew up going to the right. It ain't right if it ain't on the right. We at them parties. But we got to bring alcohol. Like, we spending more money going to the right. We is. They telling us to come over. They got us vodka at least. We drinking hard lick with these hoes. They want us. They just want us to drink some hard lick. And Tyrone. Bitch, yes, what? What do you want from Tyrone? Come to my house after. Oh, yeah. Like, we got to go to the hookah lounge after the front. Like, come on. After this, y'all want to go to hookah. They want to go home after this. I don't know.
How much Black Manosphere content you think he's ingested? Or is he just doing the calculation and saying, okay, if I go with the sisters, I'm going to be spending money, right? They're going to treat me like I'm a nuisance, like I'm a problem. Huh? They're going to treat it like I'm tricking on them because really that's what they see it as. I'll put money he ain't even ever dealt with no Black Manosphere content. And how is he still coming to the same conclusion? Deja, y'all gonna address the women eventually. It's gonna be too late, watch. Z, you still making assumptions, because I don't think they ever gonna address the women. It's never black women, it's everyone else, particularly black men. And this is when BGS plays that it's always Jermaine's fault, and there you go. But it is though, right? And KMS says, and thank you for the super chat, gypsies live off the land and moment to moment, don't they? Huh? Gypsies live off the land and off of men. Not the actual gypsies, but still. The American gypsy gonna be living off of the land and trying to live off of the men that they could scrape a couple of pennies by with. Ain't that right?
You can't send me no money for my hair. You can't send me no money for my nails. You can't give me no money for no food. You can't give me no money on my rent. You can't give me no money on my car note. Can't give me no money on my car insurance. Can't give me no money on my phone bill. Can't give me no money on my light bill. Can't give me no money on my gas bill. All you can give me is dick. Bitch, get the fuck away from me. That's all I want to hear is you get the fuck away from me, bitch. Because I don't want to hear shit and you can't do shit for me. Fuck, I look like out here just giving my coochie up and you can't do nothing for me. You can't buy a bitch nothing to eat. Let's be for real, like, fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here, nigga. Move the fuck on and move the fuck around because I'm ready to move on and move the fuck around too. Like, You say to me, oh, can I get some coochie? No, bitch, can I get some money? Fuck. So I gotta pay for cat? Yes. Yes, at this point, this pussy is for sale, bitch. You want some of it, you gotta give some money for it. I need nails, I need hair, I got bills, bitch.
Niggas be so quick to let me take you on a trip. Let me take you on a trip. Pay a fucking bill. Pay a bill. Pay a goddamn bill.
Always begging. Damn.
Can we get on the phone? No, get on the phone with billing. Don't talk to me. Talk to billing.
I'm making this as a PSA to any man that ever thought he had a chance with me or any man that wants a chance with me. If you like 50-50, stay where you're at, baby, because this mouth is only going to get more egregious. I promise you that. I'm paying these big bills and you think I'm not about to be talking to you out the side of my mouth? Watch this. Watch this.
Yikes. And KMS, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Right. Afro Merchant, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you for the super sticker. Jesus. Huh? Trell, look. Straight to the point. And Trell says, Trell Bentley, shout out to Trell, one of my day ones. Trell says, these critics of the space keep assuming that the content is changing men. They ignore that those men's experiences create the content. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? Shout out to Dr. Thunder. He said the proto chicken. Huh? No, it's the content. The women are recording themselves. Okay, fine. Women in real life sound like this. Our co-workers sound like this. Our own mothers sounded like this. Ooh, goddamn, you wasn't supposed to say that part. Our aunts sound like this. Our older and younger sisters sound like this. Our girl cousins sound like this. Our ex-girlfriends and ex-wives sound like this. Miss Deja, we're not making it up. It's not just the content, it's real life. When we were standing in line at the return desk, the young lady that had her wireless headphone in and she was on the phone, she sound like this. Huh? Yikes. Thank you, Trill. Exactly. Huh? Yep, school teachers even these days sound like this. I didn't have the space to put up that black woman teacher, and how she was speaking about the black boys in her class. Yikes. Exactly, Pasparoji. Exactly. Right. And once again, Afro Merchant, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you for the super sticker. Detroit says women can't even dominate AI. AI is coming for everybody's job eventually. Eventually, AI is coming for everybody's job. But black women gonna feel it. Women are gonna feel it in general. Many of those cubicle jobs, and that's a bit scary. I know folks that still work in offices, right? The ones that do physical jobs where you really might not be able to automate the paper, certain type of paper pushing, I think still gonna be needed. But it's gonna be really minor, really minor. Right? But women in offices, that's been a safe space for decades. For decades. The cubicle jobs have been a safe space for the most part, obviously, for decades. Huh? It was those of us who did more physically demanding jobs or had physically demanding careers. Automation put a foot in our ass mad early. But now with machine learning and some of them software systems that's coming online, yikes. And that's not to mention the book that the white dude wrote years ago, the BS Jobs. The book, what is it called? BS Jobs. Hey, and that was before you had Chat GPT, whatever. Well, And Detroit, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. And KMS says, black men don't owe black women civility. For whom? For what? How are you to say that we owe black women anything, Deja, when black women are just outright talking about bullying men? And black men owe black women civility?
The problem is we don't have enough women disrespecting men. We don't have enough women humbling these men and putting them in their place. We need to start making these men feel worthless because they are, okay? Call him a bitch. Disrespect him. Put him down. Make him feel bad about himself. Like, what's going on here? I feel like we're losing the plot. Like, I'm seeing too many marriages and too many people getting in these relationships. That's why these men think that they're the prize. Because y'all are putting them on this pedestal, making them feel like they're the prize. No. It's your job as a woman to put that man down and put him in his place. Treat him like the animal he is.
Ms. Deja, understand that I don't have enough space on the back of StreamYards. There's way more videos where that came from. I'm only spamming these videos over and over again because I didn't want to have to delete a bunch of the stuff that I have in the back of StreamYards to put up all the videos that would align with this stream tonight. There's so much more videos with black women speaking pretty much just like that. White women speaking pretty much just like that. Y'all need to stop speaking. Y'all can't help it. Speaking about the men or critiquing the men's behavior. Excuse me. Speaking about black men's obligation to the community in a vacuum. Like black men just woke up. You know what? I'm going to be sexist to black women today. Oh no, the sexism is in the air. The men are socialized to have these misogynistic and misogynorous views towards black women. This has nothing to do with black women's behavior. Absolutely nothing. Oh no. Huh? Once again, as KMS says, black men don't owe black women civility. For whom and for what? Exactly. I'ma love to see y'all try to press black men into this though. I'ma love to see y'all try to implore the FDs of the world and the consciouslies of the world to make the rest of us bow. And by the way, that is what you're asking. It's not equality or equity or community responsibility to who black women and children, point blank period. Forget what black men got going on. Yeah, we'll see. Huh? And Joe says she's looking for a new head Negro of the shed. I think they appointed FD to be that. I think FD nominated himself, and I think they said, you know what? Yeah, you. Right? I think Deontay Kyle gonna fall in line behind FD. I think Foreign sees FD as his kind of senpai. Right? I think the same thing for Lil Bill. Right? I think I think it's FD for them. Right? I think FD has the largest subscriber base. It's FD. It's FD. And that's what I keep on saying. FD could have over 1 million subscribers. He could put Waving the Red Flag on. He could put a bunch of them on. Lil Bill, Deontay Kyle, Omizi, all of them. It means nothing. None of that mean anything. If y'all can't get black women subsidized. Huh? Ooh, Dylan. Ooh, Dylan, you say, ooh, Dylan, don't be saying the quiet part out loud, bro. Dylan says they're not attracted to FD or his fans, though. Ooh. I think a couple of them sisters might be attracted to FD, right? With that, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Huh? And that's a big factor now, isn't it? Dylan done said the quiet part out loud. Huh? Dylan has said the quiet part out loud, hasn't he? Yikes. But even if that was the case, FD can't push no envelope because FD can't make us do it. Whether online or offline, FD can't make the young black men subsidize the women. The most FD can get is for young black men not to listen to the black manosphere because we're a bunch of weirdo, aggressive, mean, black women hating ass men. That's how they gonna frame us. Okay, fine, y'all scared of black men from listening to us. Are they gonna end up having children and subsidizing a black woman, marrying a black woman? Okay, fine, they're not gonna get married. Having a black baby mama that they live with and that they do for financially, and having fully black children. If you can't get that, then what y'all did was nothing. Okay, fine, y'all produced another what? Consciously? Ooh, goddamn, Z. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Huh? If y'all can't get black men to be like you, FD, and like foreign man, then it mean nothing. It's that simple. You're wasting your breath. You're making really good money, though. Goddamn, FD got to be rolling in the big checks. I know those YouTube checks is fat as hell. He's standing on money now. With that, outside of earning good money and becoming more and more YouTube famous and actually just real life mainstream famous, I think that's going to happen for FD if it's not already happening. It's going to mean nothing if you can't get black women subsidized. I see you've addressed many of my critiques, FD. This one is going to be the difficult one, isn't it? Especially in an environment where the U.S. government, because y'all better hope for God, I'm telling you it's not going to happen, that a Democrat gets in there and try to reset a new precedent and try to get the ball rolling on some type of subsidization for black women. Because if the U.S. gets used to a more lean federal government, ooh, goddamn, and local government starts following suit, yikes. Local and state governments start following suit, that's a lot of women in aggregate, not just black women, women and men. There's going to be men, very clearly, let's be fair, but definitely women who going to feel that, especially with a private sector that's automated. There ain't nowhere for the women to go. It's pinch or move. A lot of men going to feel it too. We're going to be fair. But the women really going to feel it. And if you can't get those women subsidized, particularly the black women, then FD, you going to be making good money. Foreign going to be making good money. Lil Bill going to be making good money. Andrewism going to be making good money. Omisi going to be making good money. The brothers from Waving the Red Flag going to be making good money. Y'all going to be making good money selling coke to black women. Kim Foster, Khadijah, all y'all going to be making good money. T Noir don't even put out content regularly on her YouTube, so she might have a Patreon or whatever she's doing. Y'all going to be living good selling coke to black women. Yikes. Continuing. No, we're reading the super chats. We were reading the super chats. And once again, Jones, thank you for the super chat. That was the last one. And let's see what Cam said. And Cam said, chicks like this fail to realize that those of us who aren't talking are the ones that are really pissed. Goddamn. She should be grateful that Z does. I said it. And this is a brother who's earning good money, who has children, who is married to a black woman. Uh-oh. Trail in my comments, making good money, 3 black children. Goddamn. Trail is 3, right? You got Black Uru, huh? You got Dr. T. You got Dr. Thunder. Yikes. Successful brothers. You got Dr. Dunbar, successful brother, PhD. Huh? Dr. Ron O'Neill, PhD. Dr. Green Gorilla, PhD. Oh, goddamn. In philosophy, too. And he'll run circles around. He'll run circles around all of y'all put together. Goddamn. By himself. Huh? Yikes. Vince working on his master's degree. Better you got his master's degree. Well, will you look at that? Huh? Saint Cyr, aren't you in school also? Well, damn. Huh? Chill said 3 teenagers. You see me? Well, damn. She don't appreciate it. She don't. Some of these brothers are married. Some of these brothers are out here in the dating scene with the worst women ever in the world. Shout out to Trell with the extra women. Jesus Christ. Extra women. Oh my God. Extra black women. Gee, you mean the Vivicas of the world? And the Lisa Rays of the world? And the Claudia Jordans of the world? Oh, the horror. And then, oh my God, and make it worse, they don't even look as good as them. Oh. Shout out to Trell and AL and them. Jesus Christ. Dead Set Anime in them. Jesus. Huh? Ouch. Exactly what KMS said. Let's read it again. Chicks like this fail to realize that those of us who aren't talking are the ones that are really pissed. She should be grateful that Z does. Huh? That Z does talk. Exactly. The little too much talking. Hey, early on in my channel, brothers used to get annoyed. They're like, Z, you telling them too much. They're not listening, number one. And even if they are, they're just gonna dismiss it. Now it's gonna come back and bite them in the ass. Maybe not them individually, but their homegirls and sisters in them, their girl cousins and whatnot. You know what? I gotta go back. I'm a clip out. I said it already, but I really got to do it. And by the way, Chief Rock, I didn't forget about you if you got this far in this stream. I got to go back and clip out the stream I did before the election. The stream I did, I think I call it defang something or whatever. I got to go back, clip some of that out so I could show y'all that I predicted, well, this. Nameless might remember, shout out to the Nameless protagonist, when they were trying to fight against affirmative action and strip affirmative action, right? I predicted how this would look. And even Nameless made mention of it, I think, on BGS's channel or maybe even on his own channel, how I sounded, the somberness in my tone. I knew what this was going to mean. And, well, here we are. Huh? Shout out to Jason Black. Jason Black, you're not the only one who will be out here telling fortunes. Huh? With the crystal ball. Now, I will say this. I ain't as good as Jason Black. I got to give him that. Jason Black is really good. Shout out to BGS. BGS is another one. He's really good. Well, BGS, you know, Mr. Z, you know, I'm a junior at this. I'm trying. Huh? Yikes. Huh? KMS says I have 2 STEM degrees. Huh? So it's like Kama said, you better be glad that it's me talking. Shout out to Lion. Lion said, Z, my channel get taken down the first day. Shout out to all the brothers that be like, Z, I don't know how you do it. Huh? Because I grew up with women like this. I grew up with the Dejas. I grew up with the Kim Fosters. Maybe not exactly like her. She grew up upper middle class. But I grew up with the Kim Fosters. I grew up with the Dejas. We many of us did. Y'all was trying to pipe. I wanted to pipe, but I did a whole lot of talking to them, unfortunately. So I got an insight into how they think and how they feel. Once again, unfortunately. What Deja doesn't appreciate is when she says emotionally intelligent men, and what she's really speaking to is these men that are observant of women and their temperamental attitudes. What she doesn't appreciate is that Z might be one of them, and many of us might be one of them, and that's the reason why we sound the way we sound. See, you're assuming that we don't talk to women and we don't have relationships with particularly Black women. Platonic relationships, oftentimes, unfortunately, with Black women. That's your assumption, at least from what Z could tell. You don't appreciate that we sound the way we sound because we have these platonic relationships with Black women. And because we appreciate and understand how F-nuts y'all sound. Huh? But you think Mr. Z just pulled it out of nowhere, patriarchy by feminist specifications? That's from a lot of talking to Black women in person and reading y'all comments online and watching y'all videos. Huh? That comes from co-workers, female co-workers, white, Black, Latina, Asian, and otherwise. That comes from a lot of years of observation and conversing. Huh? Yikes. And Otis says, in the words of BB King, the thrill is gone. They try to have a conversation 10 years too late. SYSBM, all the young cats preach. They not hearing it. Look, BGS said we've reached escape velocity. When BGS said that, it got deep as it was like, damn, it's over, y'all. I was like, damn, ladies, if you wasn't on the space shuttle when before that thing launched, it's over. When BGS put out that stream that said we have reached escape velocity, I was like, damn, it's done. It's done. Mr. Z still talking, but for the most part, it's done. Huh? Yikes. And Otis, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Jesus. Huh? And Blue Sock says, with the black Super Saiyan, dreaded up Super Saiyan, Blue Sock says, the real world red pill men, not the content. I thought I was tripping until I found this space. Or did you say real? Excuse me, I said men like I assume that's what you meant, but clearly wrong. And Blue Sock says the real world red pill me, not the content. I thought I was tripping until I found this space. So the real world red pill him is what Blue Sox is saying. He said he thought he was tripping until he found this space. What they're trying to do, and I suspect if there's leftists that work for Alphabet, they're probably rigged the algorithm for this because this is what they did with the news media. For those of us that would get our news from, well, you know, I'm more on the left. So for those of us that would get our news from Kyle Kalinske or Jimmy Dore before he started really going all the way off the deep end, from TYT before it was very clear what they're on, for those of us that get our news from maybe a Breaking Points, maybe Al Jazeera, RT News before they got taken down, which RT News wasn't left or right. They would actually play the left and the right, or give them a platform. for those of us that would get our news from there, YouTube admitted that it is, but at the behest of like the Hillary Clintons of the world, that they was gonna start directing traffic to CNN and MSNBC and Fox News and whatnot. They admitted that, by the way. So what I suspect, Blue Sox, is that if the Democrats or the leftists could get the ears of Sergey Brin or am I pronouncing his name correctly? Or Larry Page, is that the other one? Larry, I think that's the other one from Google. But either way, Sergey, anyway, y'all know who I'm talking about. The Google guys, By the way, I'm saying that because remember Google owns YouTube. The parent company for all of that is Alphabet now and whatnot. But if they have the ears of those guys, I suspect that they will start directing young men in like kind of rigging the algorithm in a way where they direct the young men to the FDs and whatever white manosphere version of FD there is, FD and Foreign and all those guys that have quote unquote more positive and more pro-social manhood and masculinity, right? I suspect that's going to be the way they play it, right? I think that's the next step. So instead of you fighting this space, they're going to try to direct you to FD, and all FD does is prolong the inevitable. All FD does is prolong the inevitable, get you to be naive, get you to go back to sleep. You mess around, meet a sister that you think is cool, you didn't really do good investigation, and you wake up and then you really find us, but it's too late because she already filed for divorce on your ass. That's all that consciously ends up getting you to do, and Lil Bill ends up getting you to do. That's all. Ignore her misbehavior and her bad behavior until you got no choice because you in divorce court now. Right? You get it handed the child support, you know, you've been what was it? You've been served while you walking out of work. Huh? So Blue Sox, my goal is never to get y'all to hate women or hate black women. Y'all hear how Mr. Z speaks about his relationship. I've been very blatant about it. I'm not a Drew, what's her name, Afiolo. I don't say I hate all women except for my woman. That, oh my God, the insanity. I tell y'all, there's good women out there, good black women out there. Trying to find them. Oh boy. Huh? And I make sure that I speak about the system. And quite frankly, Mr. Z really do think this is a class warfare enacted by elite rich white men. Huh? And politicians who deathly afraid of working class and working poor men. Right? I'm straight up with it. So Blue Sox, my goal is never to get y'all to hate women or be suspicious of them. Ooh, you better believe it. But never to hate women or hate black women in specific or talk about them crazy or, right? Absolutely not. With that, appreciate how they've been socialized and how many of them, most of them, think about themselves, about black men, about non-black men, namely white men. What many of them have as an aspiration, their insecurities, huh? And how those insecurities play out in the black community. And what they think women, black women, think you need to do to alleviate that weight on her shoulders for her own goddamn insecurity. That she's not a white woman, of course. Right? And Blue Sox, once again, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Big Mo says, one of my friends who doesn't get women showed me FD, and that led me to BGS rebuttal to him after my BGS meter was going off for the former. Goddamn. Huh? And I think that's why FD doesn't often come here. It is crazy because so when FD responded to me, in my when I posted the his stream on his second channel, his video from his second channel, like all the likes, all the whatevers, in the comments and the back and forths and whatnot, and yeah, FD he carries a lot of weight on YouTube, particularly like we call it Black Twitter, right? Black spaces on the internet, on social media, the Black discourse and whatnot. He carries a lot of weight, and that's understandable. So you fighting BGS through FD, and that's crazy, Big Mo, that you found BGS through FD, and you're still over here. That says something, right? Like that's their fear. You found FD first. Your friend introduced you to FD Signifier. You found BGS through FD and you stayed over here. And now you found Z, probably right, through BGS. Does FD appreciate that our rebuttals aren't just rah-rah 12-year-old edgelord white boy mad that I didn't get the cheerleader ass comments? That's not what we're saying over here. That's what the women are saying, though. Huh? Kim Foster done spoke like that. Real Talk with Yeti done spoke like that. Oh, Stefco done spoke like that. Khadijah done spoke like that. I gotta go hurry up and find the old Khadijah clip before she deleted too. I got the one from Kim Foster. I gotta hurry up and go get the one from Khadijah before she deleted. Huh? The men are not speaking like that. You could scour the Black Manosphere and see how often you hear black men talking about, well, when I was 12 years old, and this goes to what Socrates has reminded me of. It's how like neurotic the women are and how like their feelings, and like we say it and it sounds sexist when we say it, but how they take these things far more personal than the boys and the men do. Everybody keep on talking about how fragile the men are or the boys are emotionally, when the women are in their 30s and 40s still talking about who overlooked them when they were 12 years old, 15 years old, 17 years old. And they hold on to that for 20, 30 plus years. And that informs their politics. So it says a lot that Big Mo was introduced to FD first. He found BGS through FD. He found Z more likely than not through BGS. FD's the almost PhD. He has what I think FD has a double master's degree. He's the one with the huge ass channel. And yet Big Mo still found BGS and Mr. Z. Because what is FD saying exactly? Ooh, goddamn. And Big Mo, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Exactly. Exactly. Huh? And Big Mo continues, FD's content is the opioid of the masses for black women. He's the primary dope dealer and getting rich off of them, bro. He get rich. He said, and I believe him if he said, out of his 1 million plus subscribers now, 300, 400,000 are black men. Okay, fine. I ain't even gonna debate the number. Fine. What that mean? Nothing. Mainly men your age and younger, probably, FD. So we're guessing early mid-40s and younger. If you can't get them brothers to marry black women or do for black women, subsidize black women, especially the brothers under the age of 30, it don't mean nothing. If men like you can't move that marriage rate for black women, y'all can't move that needle, it means nothing. If you can't get black women subsidized, it means nothing. FD said we're scaring the hoes. FD, if you can't get black men to subsidize the hoes, it means nothing. It means nothing. It's for naught. You're getting rich, as Big Mo said, you get rich. And everything else, it means nothing. Nothing, right? And Big Mo, thank you for that super chat. Thank you for that super chat. And Cam Mess says, this broad, FD, and his cabal of simps failed to realize they've already lost any straight black men the second he starts interacting with most black women. It's over. This broad, that's right? Desiree, right? FD, and the cabal of simps failed to realize they've lost any straight black men the second he starts interacting with most black women. It's over. Yikes. Huh? Yikes. I can't disagree with you, KMS. Shout out to KMS. I can't disagree with you. Yikes. Yeah, exactly, KMS is what BGS said. The tar baby effect. It is that. It is that. Shout out to BGS. It is that. The tar baby effect. Yep. That's why he called it. That's why he called it that. There you go. That's why he called it. What is he saying? That's why he called it that. That's signs, y'all. Mr. Z to go. Yeah, but that's why BGS called it the tar baby effect. Exactly. Dylan J said, aren't FD fans broke? No, I think FD's fans span the gamut. I think they span the gamut. Right. Some may be, struggling, striving, but then remember, there's the Olays of the world, there's the Kim Fosters of the world, right? So yeah, they span the gamut, and I think people need FD. They need Deontay, like the young lady said. She roots for Deontay. She wants him to win. They need that because in their mind, it can't be just Mr. Z and BGS and Charles Faulkner and Edward Anderson and the Roger Report and Art New. It can't be a bunch of us, right? And she said that, like she literally said that, like it can't just be us on the internet. And that's why she's imploring the quote unquote not toxic black men to pick up their mics. Huh? Charles said, quick, car talk. Look, y'all, Mr. Z risking life right now because we got to be up in a few hours, right? So yeah, Starman said, play a hater. Right. Now I gotta go listen to to Biggie, and then I gotta go listen to Fabulous Remix. Right. Look, Terrell, you almost got me on that one. Look, I ain't even gonna read it out loud, Terrell. I highlighted it, but I ain't gonna read it out loud. I'll leave it up for a second. I got a lot to say about that one. Look, I'm gonna leave that one. I ain't even gonna do it. That was some good bait. That was some good bait. I almost bit that. That was some good bait. I almost went. Right. But on that note, y'all, look, Trell almost. On that note, y'all, we'll pause right there. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all, look. Shout out to you, Miss. I've been following you for a while. I've watched a bunch of your content, but no. Absolutely not. Nice try on trying to bring about a bunch of community eunuchs because a bunch of brothers are shaming us in the black manosphere and trying to, do whatever. Nice try. I hear you. It ain't gonna work. Because once again, if you can't subsidize black women, if you can't get black women subsidized by somebody, black men, white men, Latino men, Asian men, or maybe even another black woman, it means nothing. Nice try though. Right? And KMS says, when I was 12 years old, Yitch, we don't have to go back that far. Most men can go back to yesterday as the time when black women said something crazy. Say that. Right? And y'all heard when she mentioned high school? Like, we suffered from high school trauma. These are a bunch of adult black women sounding absolutely crazy. This is an adult black woman, y'all.
I don't even hide my hatred for men anymore. See, back in the day, I used to know that I had this feeling inside of me, but I didn't know how to express it. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to say anything that would get me canceled or get me having people being mad at me, or because I kind of know that like hatred for anybody is not good for your soul. So I always tried to cover it up and call it other things or like excusing and stuff like that. But baby, I ain't doing that no more. When I meet a guy, I tell him straight up from the jump, I do not like guys. But more specifically, I hate guys. I am a misandrist, and I stand 10 toes down on it, and I say it with my chest now. Like I said, I didn't always say it with my chest because I was a little bit too scared. But it then got to the point where it's just like, no, I'm not scared of anything. I'm not scared of being canceled. I'm not scared of people being mad at me. I'm not scared of the men being in my comments. I don't care.
And there you go. That's a grown-ass woman. That's not no 12 years old. Exactly what KMS said. And once again, thank you for the super chat, KMS. Thank you for the super chat. Huh? And there's so many of that where that come from. There's so many videos like that. Huh? Talking crazy.
The problem is we don't have enough women disrespecting men. We don't have enough women humbling these men and putting them in their place. We need to start making these men feel worthless because they are. Okay? Call him a bitch. Disrespect him. Put him down. Make him feel bad about himself. Like, what's going on here? I feel like we're losing the plot. Like, I'm seeing too many marriages and too many people getting in these relationships. That's why these men think that they're the prize. Because y'all are putting them on this pedestal, making them feel like they're the prize. No. It's your job as a woman to put that man down and put him in his place. Treat him like the animal he is.
Yep. That's not 12 years old, ma'am. She looks young. She little petite, little small thing, but yeah. It's not that's not 12, ma'am. That's not high school. Huh? Yikes. So on that note, y'all, we'll pause right there. Oh, look as he muting himself. We'll pause right there. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, the non-Manosphere content, for the love of God. Right? Yikes. Huh? So, yeah, y'all. Exactly. And Cheryl says, I'm a man, not an animal. Yay. She said, treat him like the animal he is. That's what she said. All right, y'all. Mr. Z out.
Yeah.